SG here, back again with another daily Marvel Snap live stream. So we have the newly released Season Pass, the Season Pass card, Hitmonkey, and we've tested it out in a couple of different shells. I did a video that just went live on YouTube, so if you are seeing this and you haven't checked out the video, definitely check it out. But Hitmonkey is the 2-cost 0 power on reveal, gain +2 power for each other card you played this turn. So there's a couple of ways that you can use this card, and I think it's going to be a fairly flexible card. For me, I personally like zoo style decks, and so I think this fits in very, very well with that style of archetype that I enjoy. And then Rin, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I know that it's incredibly late, so thank you for being here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. We're gonna go ahead and jump over into a couple of games. Let's switch over to the live view really quickly, and we'll jump right in. It's 1 p.m. No worry. Nice, Rin. So this one fits your time a little bit better. I'll take anything that's not bounce. Okay, Rickster. So we are going to be switching decks. The first one that I did have queued up was bounce, but I do have a few other cool builds. So I have a Sarah Hitmonkey deck. I have a Mr. Negative Hitmonkey, and then a Moon Zoo, all of which I think are going to be really good with this deck. And then PH Zara, well, hello from Brazil. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great night or great day so far. I think it's daytime for you guys over there. Negative Monkey, yeah, I have a Negative Monkey. It's going to be much more of a like Negative Serotonin, so very mid-range build, but I do think it has some merit. So let's do a Bishop. Next turn we can do a Black Widow, maybe a Beast. The Vault makes it a little bit difficult because we can't really fully enable our Hitmonkey, unfortunately. So we're not going to be able to bounce the middle lane back in, unfortunately. So we could just do, I mean, this isn't terrible. We can flood the Mysterio, we can flood the Hitmonkey. That's going to be a 2/4/6. It's going to be an 8 power Hitmonkey. I think it's okay. You can also play Evil and play Sandman day one to ruin their day. We could do that. I actually haven't seen that much Hitmonkey. I've seen a lot more Shri than anything, because I think people are trying to like burst through the ranks, and that's what was most consistent before. So I assume that they're just carrying it over. But I honestly haven't seen that much bounce or anything else. And then Cruel Master, you said 2 TLSG streams in one day. And this time you don't have to worry about me being like split attention. This time my full attention is to the stream. And so let me load up, I'm gonna load up our own stream real fast. That way I can make sure that everything, like if there's any kind of lag or anything that goes along with it. And so, okay, so we are good. Welcome in, Cruel Master, by the way. Hopefully your daughter is feeling better. She's still feeling a little bit under the weather, but hopefully she starts feeling better. She will probably be home tomorrow, so I don't know how long of a stream I'll be able to do. I'm going to take off work to stay with her, so it'll probably be just during her nap time, and so we'll see. Christy Gamala, Monkey's out. Monkey is out. Monkey's out. He's on the board. He's decent. He's definitely decent. So they had a Hitmonkey of their own. And then Cruel Master, you did find that we continued to have the Mjolnir to me, but this time there's a caveat to it. It will now go into a queue. So now the Mjolnir to me will stack indefinitely. But there is a channel point redemption called Mjolnir Go Away, and that will clear the entire queue. The entire thing goes away. And so you have to be, you can't guarantee that that the Mjolnir is going to stay. So yeah, you can do it indefinitely, but Mjolnir Go Away will clear the entire stack, which is kind of, so if you stack too many, someone can just do Mjolnir Go Away and it clears absolutely everything. Super villain, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. And then PH Zara. I also shortened the time from 60 seconds down to 30, but competitive Mjolniring. Yep, we are. So now that's going to be a little bit of back and forth. What are you doing, monkeying around this late? We're enjoying a little monkeying around. We can't help ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and do Hawk and Beast. I think that's going to be our best bet. We have a pretty big lead in the right lane. I think we'll be able to maintain the deficit. Or do we do Beast to the left. I feel like we need to make sure they can't steal this one away for free, so I'm going to split them. I'm going to do Hawk in mid and then Beast in the left lane. You said order? Oh, Cosmo's there, so it won't pull anything up. Masayoshi, welcome in. Or Masayoshi, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great night so far. Ooh, so the Killmonger's big. It clears a little bit of deficit in our mid lane, but also a little bit of our reach in the right lane. So, do we overcome this? I don't know. I think we do, right? No. Yes. No, it's a tie. A straight tie. Straight across the board. Did you face any Sandman decks yet? I actually haven't. Kind of sad that Kitty is still disabled. Yeah, so am I. I'm sad that Kitty is still disabled because I think she goes hand in hand with Hitmonkey. Both of them want to do a lot of cards, a lot of like flooding onto the board. And so, but no, Christy, I haven't seen a lot of Sandman. I've seen mainly like Shuri, Sarah Tex, and then a few bounce decks as well. Would Shanna work? So Shanna doesn't. I think it reads add. I'll look at the on reveal. Maybe we can do it here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so it adds a card instead of playing. Cruel Master is going on a spending spree. Yeah. Shanna doesn't. They lost Surfer. We lost Bishop. So we're sitting pretty decent. Go ahead and snap on them. I wonder if KM and Collins are infinite already. They might be. I know that Dara was saying that he wasn't gonna retreat until infinite, but he's also close to bot territory, so I don't think it's too big of an issue. And yeah, only Mysterio works. Yeah, Mysterio axes cards played, so that he's the only one that works. Wonder if Deco is yeah. So Cruel Master, you have it stacked. I wonder if Deco is ranked 200. He might be. Those guys are crazy. Dara went under 70 and got off. No way. Was it that bad? Dara doing the no retreat. Oof. Okay. So was it not working very well for him? And then Brown, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Yeah, I knew that Dara was doing the no retreat challenge. I didn't know that he got off. And so with them stacked, Cruel Master, you'll see that it takes off the filter for like a split second while it queues up the next one, but they do stack, so they don't override each other anymore. He said he would pick the challenge back up tomorrow. That makes sense. Switching to Shuri to get those ranks. Possibly. How's Hitmonkey so far? So alone as a singular card is not crazy, but he does enable some pretty cool things. So he enables you to like lean further into your Zoo style decks, which I enjoy. I enjoy a good Zoo style deck, and he allows us to lean all the way into those. I think we do Hawk this turn. I don't think we necessarily play it conservatively. Next turn, I mean, if we get Mysterio, great. We have a couple of turns to get the cards that we need. Oh, by the way, who cursed you to be a hammer? Cruel Master. Cruel Master used some channel points to queue up some Mjolnirs. So it's 30 seconds at a time for the channel point redemption, and it enables the filter for 30 seconds. There is one called Mjolnir Go Away. So if you just don't enjoy the filter at all, you can try to compete with the queue, and you can clear up the queue with Mjolnir Go Away. So actually, this isn't bad. Kind of like this. They did lose Silver Surfer. Oh, we already snapped on him. Have you tried him in a Sarah deck? That's going to be one of our next ones. We have 4 queued up. So we have the Sarah Bounce. Astrid, welcome. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Very much appreciated at this late hour. So we have him queued up for a Bounce, for a Sarah, for a Negative Monkey, and then for a Moon Zoo Monkey as well. I think he'll do decently in all of those shells. And so the cool thing about Hitmonkey is it kind of works like Wolfsbane. It doesn't have to be the last card revealed. So you can play it in any order, and it counts all of the cards that you played that turn. I just pulled Thanos in the reserves. Huge pusher. Dara was doing Moon Girl stuff. Yeah. Yep, that's one of the ones. I don't think that's his only enabler, but I think it's an okay one. It allows you to really burst that power onto the board on the last turn. And then Arnim, you said, As in, not sure how those are gonna go, or like... So we could do, I mean, let's do the hood and mid. It helps us the most there. We could do the Korg, and then we'll do Hit Monkey to the right. Gives us a decent amount. They surfing? Yeah, they discarded their surfer from Sokovia on turn 1, though. So I mean, maybe a Maximus. Maybe they have Shang-Chi teched in as well. But I think otherwise we're good. But yeah, Pusher, that's huge. Out of all of the cards you could have pulled from Series 5, that's probably one of the best ones. One, because it's a big bad, it's always going to stay at 6,000, and then two, it's just incredibly flexible. Do you see any hope in a Mr. Negative monkey deck? Hopefully. So I have one queued up, and we'll see how it goes. And then Jared, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a great night so far. Unfortunately, the Juggernaut stacks them both into mid instead of pushing one extra to the right. Oh, we push for the tie with the double drop of the Hit Monkey, and so we are able to claim the 4 cubes. I'll be waiting for the videos. Yeah, so I have one for the bounce deck already up. That one's already live. Next will be, I don't know, depending on which one of these works best. Can Hawk be replaced with anything? I've seen a few try to lean more into, or lean away from the Hawk. So you might do a Chavez. You could do Moon Girl to double down on like your Demon, your Hit Monkey. You could also do Chavez for consistency to make sure that you have those bounce components. I think either one would be okay. How long you streaming tonight? Probably 3 or 4 hours. I'm gonna regret it in the morning, but probably 3 or 4 hours. Is Lockjaw Thanos still good? Yep. Yep. I think Lockjaw Thanos is still really good. It's probably still one of the better ones. It just doesn't feel as good as it used to, so people kind of dropped it a little bit. I've been running Thanos Monkey, kind of janky, so might go back to Thanos Control. Yeah, I think Thanos Monkey would be fun, but I don't know if it has a whole bunch of great enablers either. Yeah, Thanos Bounce can be cool, but I think it also has a lot of pieces that are, like, you're juggling a lot of pieces, and so it's a lot harder to, yeah, it's a lot harder to manage your board space and hand size. How's Zabu and 4 cost for Hawk? Is it too slow for Hit Monkey? I don't know. So the one that Binks was running had the Maria Hill, and I'm not necessarily sold on Maria Hill. So maybe it can fit in there somewhere in like a mid-range. But I think it may be a little bit too slow. Because to get much value, you really need to drop at least 2 or 3 cards with the Hit Monkey. So it might be just a touch too slow. Just curious, you have fun playing negative decks? I do. I like negative decks. They have a lower than average win rate, but I think they make up for it in like that burst factor, so you can try and steal 8 cube games more often. And then Not So Wavy, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Thank you for jumping in and joining us. I know this is really late outside of our normal stream time. So they have the Angela, the Storm. They could be running something that runs like, oh wait, that came from the Triskelion. Wow. We're gonna hope. We're gonna hope and praise. So interesting side effect of hitting infinite for the first time. What happened? What happened, slow hand? They just like Maria Hill, just like D-Money? Yeah. Maria Hill's a fun card. It's not necessarily always like the best, but it is fun. Wave is huge. Ooh, yeah, for blocking their Angela and their Bishop. I know we're wanting to play Flood, but I mean, should we? We could always really lean in here, but we win the right lane if we Flood. And then Dry, welcome in. Getting like 90% of the rewards from the ladder on the first night? Yeah. Yep. And so you can much more easily like manage and not have to stress about climbing so much. How do we want to play this? The wave is big. I agree. But maybe we do this. We bump up the Org Monkey Beast. to really lean into that. I mean, if we go wave, we make sure that we win the right lane. They won't be able to compete over there. And then we just lean in with like a demon into mid, maybe. Have you considered a negative hit monkey deck? I have. So I have one built. That's going to be one of the ones that we're testing out and trying out tonight. Oh, you said the rank is not going to be +5 this season? Oh, is it not? I actually haven't climbed to the +10 yet, so I don't know. Ooh, so they have the Mysterio copy, the Wolfsbane copy, but we are going to limit them here. So it looks like it's a, maybe, I don't know, the Mysterio makes me think it's not a negative, but the Wolfsbane, such an odd include. I think we just do Demon and call it a night. Let's see. I mean, they could, I don't know, they could have something that does it. Maybe they have a Dr. Doom. Does that clear it? No. Wolfsbane. Okay, yeah, this should be fine. It looks like Dexter's Pool 3 version of a of what? Mr. Negative? Or like a Sarah Tech. The Wolfsbane is one that I don't know. Without having the potential of Mr. Negative, I'm not sold on, unless it has Odin as well. I guess I don't know what else they have in their deck. The Storm did come from the Triskelion. That wasn't in their deck. Yeah, the Doom would have been, I think, the only out they had. Tanvir, you said I pinned Thanos a couple of days ago, but new season changed it nonetheless. Oh, it reset it? Yeah, that one was big. That one was a big starter. So getting the 8 cubes right off the jump sets us right in the right direction. We played Xilinx earlier tonight. Can't remember what they were running. They were running a Nimrod. So I think a Nimrod Galactus Destroyer deck. And it had Shuri in it as well. So like a turn 6 one. Josie, we will go ahead and redeem your snap. And we have the Bass, which enables our Mysterio and our Hitmonkey. So on turn 4, that's pretty big. Let's play, I guess Korg doesn't trigger this turn, but we'll play Korg this turn, Bishop next turn, and then these two on turn 4. If we can angle it where we can Beast bounce these back in on 5, great. If not, then I think that's okay. Did you face any bots? When? Tonight? I faced like 2 or 3 bots. Yeah, Galactus can be pretty strong in the bounce meta. If you don't get enough disruption on him, it can definitely be pretty potent. I think we try to make sure that they get a rock here. That way the only place they could play Galactus would be in Machine World. We'll see. We'll see if it's enough. A morning TLSG stream. Yeah, so we are, since it has the new card. Oh wait, they're not playing Galactus anymore. Since the new card released, we wanted to rein in the new stream with, or rein in the new card with a stream. Yeah, they switched decks. The shop thing is a bug. So I don't really like sending them a Mysterio, but it is only going to be just the one copy, so I'd rather do that than the Hitmonkey. Let's do that. Maybe we draw Beast, and we can bounce him back into our deck at some point, or back into our hand at some point. Some get unpinned, some don't. That's rough. Hopefully he pops back up in your rotation soon. How close were you in tokens to being able to buy him? Okay, so they have the Mysterio as well. They didn't have the Hitmonkey to go along with it. So in turn 4, we got 3, 6, 9, 18 power for 4 energy, which is huge. Can we see all your card backs? Yeah, absolutely. After this one, I'll go ahead and show them off. So I think we do this. We'll pull back in the Korg, Bast, and Iceman. That will allow us to play it again to buff up our Bishop further. We can further buff up our Angelo, which they're going to get a 0 power one. I had Shuri pin from last season, and it stayed pinned this season. Nice. So are you still leaning in on buying Shuri? Because it's rumored that Shuri would be the one that drops down in like a week or 2, or whenever they do the next series drop. And then Hot Dynamics, it is a late night stream. It's TLSG After Dark. And so we're enjoying a little bit of bounce this evening. So we can do... They have 5 cards in their deck, so it's a 10 power Hawk. We can do... I mean, if they have a... They probably have a hit monkey of their own. But if they have a Shang-Chi, they can take out this lane, and it's pretty potent. But I think we do... We'll do this. Just finished watching Jeff for 2 hours. Not one Sandman in sight. I know, it's kind of... Did Jeff get off? Or did you just switch over, Rebark? I haven't seen a Sandman either. I've seen a lot of Shuri, a lot of like Sarah-style tech decks. But I haven't seen a single Sandman. Yep, I did see a Bast. I lost 8 cubes to a Bast earlier, or not a Bast, a Valkyrie earlier tonight. It was a negative Valkyrie too. Oh, it was rough. It was a tough one. Sandman is kind of, it's not exciting to play, but it's very consistent. Ooh, and we do get the retreat for 2 cubes. You said Snap.fan needs to update their card collection. Do they not have it in the deck builder yet? I built one on Snap.fan earlier that had it. Consistently losing to Shuri, it definitely doesn't hold much weight. How is Hitmonkey times? Hitmonkey times have been pretty good so far. They haven't been bad for us. We're doing pretty decently. I have several deck builds that I'm wanting to try out tonight. So we have the bounce one, we have a Sarah Hitmonkey, we have a negative Hitmonkey, and then a Moon Zoo Hitmonkey as well. We have a lot that we're wanting to test out. We'll see how many we get through tonight, and then how many we have to push off over until tomorrow. He said I'm playing this with Blue Marvel, Yondu, Sarah, and Wolfsbane instead of Hood, Mysterio, Hawk, and Widow. So does it... So adding in the Blue Marvel, does that lower your... Oh, I guess Sarah, you're able to flood a little bit on the last turn? So it's kind of a hybrid between like a bounce deck and then... Yeah, so Mysterio counts as 3 cards played, and so it really helps enable your Hitmonkey early. Yes, and that was a hidden thing that I didn't know exactly how it was going to work, but it does work with like Wolfsbane. So it's nice that it doesn't matter. So it doesn't have to be the last card that you played, thankfully. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be the last card you play. So it works like Wolfsbane. You can play it in any order. You can play Hitmonkey first, and then it's gonna still count all of the cards that were played that turn. You think you'll try DC Dual Force when it comes out? I'm sure I'll give it a shot. I don't know if we stream it or not, but I do think I'll at least play it a bit. I'd love to experiment with a Mantis Cable Yondu Bounce for milling purposes. Yeah, I really want to be able to do a good mill deck. It's just so inconsistent when, like, even if you mill all of the cards, finding your win condition after that is difficult. So 2, 4, 6. I think we lean in on that maybe. I want to play the Iceman out in the open, but I also want to be able to do Angela and then stack the rest of our cards there. Brood/Doom? No, they don't. So they only count as 1. So with Mysterio, the text says play illusions instead of place or whatever the normal text reads. And so Mysterio is the only one that functions that way. I don't know why they decided to treat it that way, but for whatever reason they did. They have a really big death here. Is this a Hela deck? They could just drop Hela and Dark Dimension on this turn and then just obliterate us. I think they probably will. I don't know that it's worth the risk. Because this is going to be 2, 4, 6, a 6 power hit monkey plus a little bit from Bishop. We could compete as is for Washington, D.C., but if it's a Hella deck, I don't think we do it. We're going to retreat out. I think it's the start of a new season. We're trying to climb, so we're going to play it conservative. This looks good without Chavez. I haven't missed Chavez all that much. I think especially with Hitmonkey, you have... So with Hitmonkey, I wanted to make sure that on turn 5, I could still flood. With Chavez, it always felt a little... It felt bad to be able to be flooding on turn 6 with just kind of maybe 4 energy versus dropping your Chavez. And so there were those competing priorities for me. So without Chavez, I know that I can drop Falcon on 5, pull my cards back in, and then flood them right back out onto the board. And know that I will most likely just draw another enabler on that last turn. I have hit 5 Sandman decks in a row. Wow. Dropped to 68 already? That's so strange, because I haven't seen a single Sandman. If I do, then I think this bounce one is probably the better of the two. And then Push-A-Man, OP, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub for the 2nd month. Very much appreciate having you here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. And we're glad to have you here. How's Hitmonkey? Hitmonkey's decent. It's not just a card that you can slot into anything. It's one that I think is pretty decent at what he does. So he enables some pretty cool plays. I think we just do Bast and then Bast. Next turn we can do Mysterio Hitmonkey, unless we get like a Beast or something else to pull these cards back into Shuri's Lab. So Shuri's Lab with a Beast bounce deck is always something that I enjoy seeing. I think not having Kitty hurts him a bit too. Yeah, Kitty Pride is also going to be a decent one, especially when combined with, like, you can then start adding in your Collector and a whole bunch of your other cards as your enablers. I saw Ben Brode lost to a 20 power Shuri Lab. 20 power rocks. Those are some massive rocks. And then Bluesman, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night so far. Hitmonkey's origin story? I actually don't know Hitmonkey's origin story. You've been running the Moon Girl deck? It's pretty decent. Yeah, that's another one that I think is going to be pretty good because it already has a pretty good high roll, and Hitmonkey just kind of adds to it. So it's turn 5. I think this is, yeah, I think this is bot. We're going to snap into it. What does Hitmonkey do? So Hitmonkey is a 2-cost, a 0 power, that on reveal, he gains +2 power for each other card played this turn. So if you're looking to flood a lot of cards onto the board, so Mysterio counts as 3 cards played. And so that's an immediate 6 power onto Hitmonkey for 4 energy. If you enable it with Bast and a few other cards, then it starts kind of snowballing very, very quickly. I did hear the TV show for Hitmonkey was pretty good. Or in America, it's not on Disney+. I don't remember where it got added to. Maybe it was Hulu, but I don't have access to it. So I have to find another way to watch it. Maybe I have to like sign up for a free month or something like that. I don't want to think of a world with Thanos Hitmonkey with Quinjet. Yeah, I think Hitmonkey is probably why they changed Quinjet's old effect. I agree. It would have been very, very scary. Oh, well. I guess the Chavez would have been good here. We definitely don't want to play our Falcon. We're just going to skip on the last turn. It's Hulu? Yeah. I need to sign up for like maybe a 30-day trial or something like that. There's a version of the deck that runs Moon Girl for double Hitmonkey. Is it the Beast Bounce that runs Moon Girl? If so, what do we cut? Do we cut our Disruption? So like the Iceman and Korg for like better... I guess we could cut Iceman and Korg, maybe even Black Widow if we're not going Disruption. Hawk would also be pretty low. So if we cut out those pieces, we could add in, and then Benjamin Knight, thank you so much for the 2nd month of Prime. You said 2-month anniversary already. Let's go. Thank you so much for the 2nd month. If we cut those disruption factors, we could add in Collector, Moon Girl, maybe a couple of other cards. Not Beast. Oh, like a double She-Hulk deck. Yeah. That's another one that I'm wanting to enable, or I'm wanting to try. We're gonna switch. We're gonna play a couple of different decks over the course of the stream, and so we are up to 73. So we're doing pretty decently. I think that was a bot, so we can't even count that one. So She-Hulk float with monkey. Yeah. I have one of those built. I have one of those. I have a negative monkey, a Sarah monkey, and then this monkey. Valk is also an option. Valkyrie with... Oh, are there any good Bash replacements in this one? Yeah, with this one, I think another good Bash replace. I mean, you could even go Chavez for the consistency to make sure you have your bounce pieces earlier. That might even be a decent line. That way you have your guaranteed disruptor cult tools. Because for me, with a bounce deck, the biggest way to counter like Shuri or Galactus or those other like really common meta decks is to disrupt them early and consistently, so that they can't get what they want to get going. And so maybe Chavez for Bast if you don't have Bast, I think might be a decent shot. And then Benjamin, you said just wanted to give a quick thanks to you, man. Your streams have going over so well at work, and we all love being entertained by you while we work. That's huge. Because coming from a department, my department that I work in, doesn't care for the stream. Like they don't necessarily care for streams in general. And so from going from that to hearing about your department and everyone like loading it up at work, that's such a cool thing. And then Rin coming in with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much for the support. That snags you the top slot for this week's gifted subs, and that makes sure that our late night stream starts off incredibly positive. So thank you for the continued support. Absolutely huge coming in for the late night stream. And so I did opt to go ahead and bounce these cards back in. I would almost rather the second disruption factor. So it looks like a Shuri deck. So I would almost rather the second disruption factor of a Black Widow, making it a little bit more difficult for them to draw into the pieces they need. Did the dog lay down behind me? Oh no, just walked through. We're moving into a new building, and we're gonna have a projector in the warehouse, a 7-foot TLSG. And then you have this, so if you have anyone that like roams in and they see this giant Mjolnir talking to you, it's going to be a 7-foot Mjolnir. So you have to think about the drawbacks there too. But that's huge. So let's go ahead and I think we do maybe something like this. Or I guess we could do this. We don't necessarily need. We don't care if we send them Bast. Who summoned Mjolnir? Josie. Josie summoned the Mjolnir. And it's for 30 seconds at a time now. And so you are able to get little glimpses of Mjolnir that pop in and out of the stream from time to time. So we do get Falcon. They did hit Shuri though, which is very, very scary. Mjolnir returned to Thor? It did. It didn't stay long. It was like a brief glimpse. Like it came flying through and then he recalled it back. First time I've seen it. So it's something that I had queued up as a keybind for like months. And I decided I'd go ahead and make it fun and add it as a channel point redemption. And so from time to time we can just turn into a very scary Mjolnir, and it does stack now, so you can have a big long string of them. So we have 3 queued up, so it's 1.5 minutes of Mjolnir that we're just here hammering around. Let's figure out our play real fast. We can do the Iceman into, I guess Iceman into Falcon would not be bad. That pulls back in the free beast, or the free Bast rather, the demon, the Iceman. So we could do all 3 of those on the last turn. They're going to give you the Widow's Bite back. They used it to... Oh, wait. Wow, they didn't. Why didn't they? we have Dub joining in for the Mjolnir to me redemption. We have a lot. We have a lot of them queued up. I don't know why they didn't send the Widow's Bite back our way. I have no... Wait. That was the follow-up card to their Shuri, right? Oops. Oh no. Oh my, what a big oversight. Oof, that's tough. That is a very... Yep, there's the Shuri. You see it in the top right corner of the screen now. Oof. That's not a VOD either. That's just a misplay. They forgot. They forgot that they needed to wait for like I don't know, their big play. I don't know. We'll take the 1 cube. Oof. We do have a few rewards we can claim. And so we'll go ahead and pull one of our early mystery variants as well. Nerve, thank you so much for the follow. In our Mjolnir form, you went ahead and dropped us a follow. I appreciate it. So we have quite a few credits. Pixel time? Maybe. Last month we dodged all the pixels. And so please don't let Mjolnir return to Thor. So on April Fool's Day, I did an entire stream as Mjolnir. And so it's incredibly fun. So let's go ahead and switch over to our deck explanation. This one. And then Arlo coming in with the Mjolnir as well. We have a lot of these coming up. So let's go ahead and open the Mjolnir. We're hoping for the best. It's not bad. That's not bad. That is a pretty good collector. I'm a Dan Hip variant enthusiast, and so I'm gonna set that as my favorite. We have several Dan Hip ones, or several collector ones, but I think that one's pretty cool. He said, "Scoot." He said, "Holy crap, a talking hammer!" You didn't hear? It's hammer time. All right. So I'm going to upgrade that real fast. So we have several collector ones, but I think that's the best looking one. Like we have the Kale, we have the Ivan, but I like Dan Hip the best in this one. You got Pixel Medusa. Oof. If you're not at first the sailing, if you're not averse to sailing the high seas, I have a couple of invites to Torrent Day. Oh, gotcha. Sailing the high seas. I was so confused. I was like, it's like, where are we sailing to? But I think I can access it. But if I can't, Revark, I'll let you know. we may need to become sailors. When do the previous rank rewards unlock in a new season? So it takes about, I think it's 10 ranked games. Before they go into effect. Oh yeah, Rin and Derek both answered. And so we'll go ahead and clear there. Ooh, and our Mjolnir is all cleared up too. And so let's go ahead and switch back into a couple of games. We're doing pretty decently. We're up to 73. We've had pretty good success with the bounce monkey so far. So it's looking at, we've done 21 games. 57% win rate, so not the best, but not the worst either. And a net positive game of 31 cubes. Not terrible. Not terrible for a list off the gate when you're facing like Shuris and things like that. And Derek bringing the hammer back. Derek just dropped the hammer. 10 games of at least 3 rounds. Ooh, Revark. I actually didn't know that piece or that portion. So let's go ahead and do Angela. We'll be able to do... actually, next turn I think we just do Iceman and Beast probably. Oh, wow. As the filter went off. Okay, so that feels a lot. That feels a lot. Thank the bull guy. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. Very much appreciate the support. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Thank you for the support. Even after the awkward head shake, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Oh, and that's a repayment for Rin, who gifted you the sub. Thank you for paying it forward. That's huge. I appreciate you, you gifting it forward. So we're going to prioritize the disruption as much as possible. Actually, is this a bot? I think we got into bot territory. I think because it's kind of off hours. Yeah, no problem. I really enjoy the streams. I really like doing the videos, but the streams kind of feel like it gives it another element. So I'm able to interact in real time rather than it feeling kind of delayed. How's the deck doing so far? Is it going to work without Bast? I think it could work without Bast. There was someone else that asked that question just a couple of seconds ago. I think it could do decently without Bast. Revark, huge support coming in with the 10 gifted subs. They went out to Eggs for Sale. Zin, Raji, Backup, the Peanut, Trainwreck, Spyro, Ash, William, and Heart support. If you guys got a gifted sub, make sure to thank Revark. You couldn't have your number one spot challenged for very long, Revark. I'm sure it was eating a hole in you. So it looks like you made it to another train station. But Metalcore. So we were talking about without Bast, you could do the Chavez, just to add in that consistency driver to make sure you had your disruption tools early. I think that'd be a decent one. Was feeling funny not being first, right? Right, just wasn't quite right. It didn't quite sit right. So we could do a Bast and then a Hawk. On the last turn, we could do Mysterio here, here, and here. Always great to see your content. Thank you so much, Metalcore. I'm glad to have you here. Hopefully you're having a great night so far. And then the 16, we're up to 16 subs for the late night, the TLSG After Dark. So I appreciate it. You guys, the continued support is phenomenal. You always, I never expect it, and I'm always surprised with just how generous you guys are. So I think we have to compete for left and right. This looks like a Hella deck. If they hit Hella, we probably lose. Oh, it'd stay there? Cheers from Australia. See, that's the thing I like about the late night streams. So it's almost 1 a.m. for me. Tinsive, you said this game's doo-doo? Is it not going so well, Tinsive? But that's the thing I like about the late night streams, is that it hits a different time frame than what I normally hit. Stop hammer time? Zombie Lemon, is it hammer time? It is hammer time. Such a bot play? Yeah. Yep. I think because it's so late now, we're starting to see bots. And I feel bad. I don't really want to abuse that. I'd rather make it a difficult climb. But Zombie, welcome in. I added it where it now does a queue. And so you can queue up as many Mjolnirs to me as you want, and they'll trigger consecutively. You haven't seen a bot for 2 weeks now? So for me, I didn't see very many until the season reset. And so I think because it's like late now. And then goal, you use the Mjolnir go away, which does clear the entire queue. So had there been 2, 3, 4 Mjolnirs queued up, it completely just takes it away. It's Tuesday, so I know it's a work night, so I appreciate you sacrificing your sleep. Yeah, and so oh, Rhinillion, I almost missed the snap coming from your way. And so, oh wait, Astrid did the go away. It should clear. Oh my gosh, is it not clearing? Why didn't it clear? Here, I'll clear it for you guys. It should have cleared. It cleared whenever I tested it. I may have to disable it. There it goes. Now they all went away. This chat is just a Mjolnir battle now. Yeah, it is. He said, oh no, what have I stumbled upon? we have the Mjolnir. We have the couple that are queued up. We have 3. And then Mjolnir away. Whenever it triggers, it clears the entire queue. The entire queue. Oh my gosh. Not what I anticipated. And I think it clears the entire queue once. Like, I think it takes a couple of seconds to kick in. Oh man. You guys are just burning through the channel points. He said. Arrived to stream just in time to witness the madness. There, it cleared them all. Oh no. Well, this is something. It's safe to say it's a popular option. It does. Those were channel points well earned, well spent. The gold infinite card back 5 across does look really solid. This is this is what happens when TLSG streams late. We have a Mjolnir face off. So we have the engagement is engagement. That's we need to be betting. That way you can build them up. We have another Mjolnir to me. Roro, you said, is there a pool 3 version of the bounce deck? You could try taking out Hawk for potentially Chavez. It drives some consistency in your early disruption. And I don't think you'd necessarily miss it all that much. Bass would become the issue if you take out both of those. And then Christian, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. I don't know where to use this last one. I think we're going to use it over to the right because they are going to merge. And then legit cliche. Thank you so much for the follow as well. I'll just pray for the Bass series drop mid-month. Yeah, I think the Bast helps enable like the Mysterio, the Hitmonkey. But I think taking out one or the other is okay. But I think taking out both, it gets a little bit harder to replace them. And then ML using the Mjolnir go away, clearing up the entire queue. I didn't anticipate these to be as popular as they are. It is very fun. It creates some form of just like chaoticness. I'm 1k away from Ghost. Ghost is tough. I haven't used Ghost since I picked it up because it was just so difficult to use. I'd say skip one Ghost. Yeah, we went with Widow over Chavez. So if we're using the Hawk and the Iceman and the Korg, our best line of defense for this deck is that early disruption. And so I think Black Widow, if you're leaning into like the disruption portion, it feels really critical in it. Yeah, I'm still waiting for Kitty to phase back into the game. She phased out and she has not phased back in since. I'm out of points. Oh no, Zombie Lemon. You'll have to AFK for a little while to build them back up. We could do this. It's not great though. It's an 8 power play here. We do have the real Mysterio in mid though. 4, 5, 6, 7. It depends. We're gonna try it. Yeah, she phased through. She phased through a wall and got leeched halfway. She absolutely did. Zombie Lemon. I thought you said you were out. Tinsiv, you said to see your last message. No, I got. It may have. Oh wow, they do. The Arnold Zola was big. They ended up swindling away 4 cubes from us. But Tinsiv, no. Okay, so I scrolled up and see it. And so Tinsiv, you said I just was playing and this guy skipped, then up to turn 3. Oh, then Wakanda Embassy happened. On turn 4, he dropped Yellow Jacket, Mysterio, Wasp, and Hitmonkey, all boosted by Embassy. Oof. That's tough. That's a tough one. I think it's a very like rare case where that happens. Let's play a couple more with Bounce, and then we'll go ahead and do our first switch, actually. For anyone that hasn't seen the Infinite card back, it looks incredible. Like it's a cute little goose. Rye Guy, welcome in. He's in the Mjolnir cam. You have a favorite deck overall? For a while, it was to breed Bounce, but as Killmonger became more common, it's not nearly as impactful now. And so for me, I like Zoo style decks, and so like a Moon Zoo really like hits close to home. Yeah, it's the Q game. So what a massive spree of Mjolnir to me's. Rye guy, hopefully you're having a fantastic day. I haven't heard much from you lately. Hopefully everything has been going well. I know that you had a couple of things that you were juggling, so hopefully everything on that front is going well. Yeah, it's the Q game instead of the cube game. That's absolutely true. My question is, why did they nerf Taskmaster? Sure is the problem, not him. So they didn't necessarily nerf him. They made it more in line with like Mystique, or they made it consistent with some of the other cards. And so like if the nerf that he's talking about, Hot Dynamics, is he doesn't work if the card gets destroyed or is no longer on the board. So if it gets destroyed, it won't copy that card. So it's like a miniature nerf. But I haven't had much of an issue. If you gain initiative, then you have the Taskmaster on the board before Shang-Chi comes down. Yeah, pre-nerf Jet would have been insane for that Moon Zoo. It would have been beautiful. So we do have the Hitmonkey and Mysterio that we can use on 4 to further enable our Bishop. We're gonna go ahead and snap into it. That's pretty good tempo play. I thought the Mjolnir cam was gone, and then I look over and see myself as a big hammer. I apologize, guys, for what I have done, for what I've unleashed upon the world. And then Arlo, you said, have you made a video on Bast Valkyrie Patriot yet? I haven't. It's something that I've toyed around with, but I haven't ever gotten it to where it just feels incredibly consistent. And so I haven't dropped a video for it just yet. We could pull these two back in. I mean, we can do Black Widow and then Falcon. I think the Disruption is going to be the better piece, because right now we're thinking it's a Mr. Negative deck. So if we can stop them from drawing 1, 2 negative or inverted cards, then that's huge. I just want to see someone play Hitmonkey without Bast. Canavezes Gaming. I'm about to switch decks to one that doesn't have Bast. Prototype, you said, hi TLSG. Hitmonkey has been fun so far. I've been enjoying Hitmonkey so far. I think he's very solid for what he is, but I don't think he's just overly broken either. So let's go ahead and do this. Then we're kind of hoping for like a Hawk on the last turn. Just remember the hammer gives TLSG to pick his nose without us knowing. It does, but there's always the chance that it clears off, you know, midway through. Part of me wonders if people get tired of monkeys and we just go into a Sandman. That's what I'm kind of afraid of. If Hitmonkey is like too impactful and there's too much flood, maybe we do. Oh, this is definitely a bot. And we get Beast on the last turn, which is not great. We're just gonna Iceman and Bast it out. 211? Yeah, 211 is insane. He gets +3 from Bast, and then he got +8 from just his ability. And if you happen to get Kamar Taj, I've been thinking and brewing around. I don't have anything built yet, but something that uses him along with maybe a Wong. So like maybe in like a negative deck that uses Wong and a few other cards. So like Zabu, Wong, maybe Shuri. And then him, you might be able to do some kind of crazy things. Yeah, it's a 211. I mean, technically we invested some other cards into it, but alone 211. Yeah, Shuri is still really good in the Sandman meta. And then Zeusdog, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a great night so far. Is already a negative Wong with Monkey? Oh, there is already. Yeah, I assume somebody built it. So these are 4 that I built. I haven't seen anything that anyone else was building. I try to at least make my own builds initially, and then I take a look at what other people are running, try to figure out what's not necessarily working with mine, and do some kind of hybrid. And so what do we want to play next? It's about time to switch decks. What do we want to switch over to? Yeah, the best 2-drop right now is 2/5. Do we want to do the Sarah C0 Monkey? Oof. Oof. Yeah, no, I don't think he's anywhere near as broken as Zabu or Surfer. We have a couple people saying Mr. Negative. Try the Negative Monkey. Mitty said Sarah monkey, negative monkey, negative. Okay, we'll do negative. We'll do negative, and then the next deck we switch to. Can we see the hit zoo? So it's definitely not refined. So this one is still anticipate. Oh, let me switch over for you. Oh, that pulls it up. So this one still uses the arrow and Shang-Chi for kind of a Shuri counter. People overreacting to monkey. I don't think he's broken. He's fun and fairly flexible, but he's not like a Zabu or Surfer that just breaks the game. So this version of the hit zoo, it kind of does a mid-range. So it anticipates that we're playing into those big Shuri decks, sometimes Galactus as well. And so it builds in the Arrow and Shang-Chi tech cards. So if they're going to drop a turn 5 double-powered Red Skull, we can pull it into a lane where it's able to be Shang-Chi'd. And then the rest of the deck looks at having that low curve. So Hitmonkey along with She-Hulk. Maybe we take out Maximus for another low-cost card. So maybe an Ant-Man to really lean in on being able to double down on those cards, clear our hand where needed. But that's my initial idea for it. But let's run a little bit of negative monkey. And then next one we'll do Sarah monkey. Zabu and Surfer are the cards I kind of compare cards to see if they're broken. Yeah. Yep. Zabu and Surfer just like polarize the game. Then I missed. For any messages I'm missing, I apologize. I don't mean to miss the messages. But somebody said I have a good amount of pull 3. Is Titania a good pick? Titania. So I enjoy Titania, especially if you're looking at like Moon Zoo or last turn like Burst. The 1/5 is just unmatched. No task in this list. No, so this one, I mean, we don't have anything that's really big. So I don't know what we would want. I guess Taskmaster for the Hitmonkey. But this one is really looking to be as middle of the ground consistent. So it's more of a like serotonin rather than like a high roll negative list. But with Hitmonkey, I could see maybe trying to do a Taskmaster. Am I the only one who thinks he has a calm YouTuber voice? That's what I've been told. And it's something I didn't notice or realize until after I started making videos. Titania is a slippery slope. Titania is very fun whenever she works. Why not Bast over Sunspot? You could. I guess you could do Bast over Sunspot. Like it helps just about everything. The Angela, the Hitmonkey. That's probably not a bad pick.
Welcome.
And then Mitty Poker, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. I'm so glad you're able to jump in. Subbed because of the voice. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're enjoying the stream, enjoying the voice, and just like the calm, the calm persona. But now, no, I do see that Bast is probably overlooked in this. We can add in Bast. I think that's probably a positive all the way around. So the cards we can get negative are not great. I think we lean in on... Air is not great either. I think we do Iron Man. This is my problem with with negative lists, is if you get drawn to your key flip cards early, it loses some of that luster, some of that push. And then Prototype, thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. Sorry, I entirely missed calling it out. I saw it, acknowledged it in my head, but forgot to tell you. So I appreciate you being here as well, Prototype. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night so far. So we have the... do we want to do Mystique to copy the Iron Man, or do we give that up? We could do... Bishop Psylocke. Guess we could do Angela, Bishop Psylocke, Monkey. But that doesn't win, no matter what. The Terry said, I love watching your daily snap videos on YouTube. Glad to catch you live. I'm glad you were able to catch Catch me live as well. I hope you enjoy the streams as well. They're definitely like a different pace than the videos, but I think there's some good merit in both of them. And then Revark claiming the 1v1. So are you ready to go? I know that game ended like right as you claimed it, and so we can launch up a quick 1v1. And then Rin, you said you should run both ideally. Are you talking about both Zabu and Psylocke? And then Arlo, you said, what about Zabu instead of Psylocke? I used to run Zabu over Psylocke. In some scenarios, it can be good. So if you drop Zabu on 2 and then you top deck into Mr. Negative 1/3, it can give you that advantage where maybe you wouldn't have dropped Psylocke before. But Psylocke can be used on 3 into a turn for Sarah, which can help enable like another play line. And then
hey, welcome.
Zelda Never Ends. Thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. Huge support coming through from you guys. And so let's run a little bit of this. And so we did get the channel point redemption from Revark. Oh, did I type that one in wrong? Did someone snag the battle code? It logged me out? Oof. And then Shin, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great night so far. Yeah, if you run something like Wong, maybe Absorbing Man, Jubilee, you get some additional value out of it. Zabu's only better if you have more than one 4 cost. I agree. Psylocke is a little bit more flexible. It allows you to do an early Sarah in some games. Not your ideal play line, but it's a good alternate or backup. So I'm curious what Revark has up his sleeve. His name's How's My Hair with no hair. I don't think I have enough neurons to play Kitty Monkey Bounce deck. Whenever you mash all 3 together, I think it's going to get a little bit tricky. Christy said at 75 already with Sandman going pretty smooth. Yeah, Christy Gamala, you're crushing hopes and dreams with the Sandman. You are climbing quickly. I could see how Sandman's going to be strong into the start of the season. And then straight up to infinity. Thank you so much for the follow, Peeping and Kitten Caboodle. Thank you so much for the follows as well. And then Gamer Jim, thank you. Kitty Monkey Bounce with Titania. That would start getting to the point where it's like almost like a move deck level of like calculating in your head. You're steamrolling it with Sandman at rank 77. Sandman's a solid one. Sandman, ever since the update, has been really strong. Electro Sandman is just not very fun in general. Or not really. Let me take that back. Not that it's not very fun. It's not very, I guess exciting is a better word for it. So it's very like straightforward. It's not very engaging. Okay. I enjoy dynamic. Thank you guys for the help. I was stuck on the words. I was stuck on the words that we needed to use, but I think you guys nailed it. I enjoy running the Sandman Electro ramp, but it is very like hit and miss. So we can do the Sentinel and the Iceman. That'll push him over here. Maybe that's what we angle for. Sandman is so much better since you don't lose much tempo. Yeah. Yep. Much better than playing the 4-1. I agree. Derek, you said everyone keep playing Sandman? You're running a Ronin deck, right, Derek? So if we did this only hits these 2, unfortunately. So instead, I think we Maximus and Hood. My Sandman version beats Shuri pretty often. Yeah, it can. It definitely can beat the Shuri decks. It just comes down to who has the best draw at that point. But no, I think Goose is really restrictive to Shuri decks. If I see them very much, I start teching Goose into my builds. I'm happy there's a lot of upcoming cards that enable move decks. Yes, there's a couple that I think are going to be pretty fun to play with.
Hey, and then, welcome. It took you long enough.
I'm Gag, not Gag. Thank you so much for the Prime sub as well. That brings us up to 20 for the stream, or for today so far. Thank you guys for the massive support. It's very much appreciated. So we could skip into a She-Hulk, a Demon, a Titania, a Sentinel. And then it also gives us the flexibility to maybe end up doing a Shang-Chi if we need to. How we like in Hitmonkey? I enjoy Hitmonkey. I don't think he's broken by any means. I think he just helps enable those like really flood style decks, which kind of fit right up my alley. I like playing a lot of cards because you can really make it versatile. And so I've been enjoying it. Scarlet Witch into Wolfsbane. All right, so if they do a Killmonger, this goes up quite a bit. I think we also anticipate that maybe this is a real Mysterio. So it brings this to 16. 16 is tough to overcome. We did drop initiative, so we don't have to worry about the Killmonger so much. This is going to be 15, 16, 17, 18. 16, if they destroy the Nova, that goes up to 20. I think this bumps us to 21. And so then we can drop our Titania to the right. Jeff ignores Electro too? Wait, does he really? That's going to be wild. So like Sandman, Electro doesn't stop you from playing 2 cards if one of them is Jeff? I guess it does say nothing can stop you from playing this card. That's crazy. So anyone that doesn't know what Jeff does, Ben confirmed it. So nothing can stop you from moving or playing this to any location. That's wild. So he did have the Killmonger, but that brings us to 1 card in mid where he loses the Atlantis bonus. So our Sentinel should be fine there. Yeah, I think that's even better than what I thought it was going to be. Robe, you said this is a fun game of Snap. I can't retreat or in turn. On PC, just keeps reconnecting. Then when I go to on my phone, I can't open it. So that sounds like the issue that they had with Kitty Pryde. Was there something specific that disconnected you? Yeah, I think with that, so like the Professor X, the Sandman, the Electro, he might be decent in a lot of shells. Wait, the Redbird, you said that you saw someone on Twitter confirm that Jeff would be conditioned by Sandman? See, now we need to get to the bottom of it. I played Bast into Angela and my game died. Oh. What did the opponent play anything particular? That's what I was wondering as well, Christy. I don't think Space Throne is going to stop Jeff. I think it's going to act like any other location. Nightcrawler. Strange. The only confirmed one were Miniaturized Labs, Space Throne, and Professor X. Gotcha. So TVA changes the game a little bit. If we skip here, She-Hulk goes down to 3. I don't know that we necessarily want that. We could do Iceman. We hide our Titania? Maybe we hide our Demon. And then on the last turn, I guess we're hoping for Maximus would be our best bet. Hi TLSG, how's the Hitmonkey deck going so far? It's going pretty decently. We did get challenged to a 1v1 by Revark, so we're both running Hitmonkey decks. But overall in the climb, it's been pretty decent so far. We have 4 that we're wanting to test out tonight. But I've been enjoying it. I don't feel like he's... Oh. We do get the Maximus, which is massive. We'll go ahead and snap into it. Let's do the Maximus. We'll do Titanium to the left. And we have the pretty big power in mid as well. But the Moy, I've been enjoying him. He fits right up my play style of like really playing a lot of cards onto the board and kind of just exploding that power. And so I think he fits right up that. I don't think he's necessarily broken. I do have one video up already, and so it's on the bounce deck. But I have one for Hitmonkey already up on YouTube. It went live just about an hour ago, just before we launched this stream. It's turned into an 8-cube game very quickly. You were quick with the video? Yeah, on the new card releases, I try to do the videos very quickly. I try to get it up early. Yeah, Sandman and Wave are gonna be good into Hitmonkey. So if we see too many of them, I agree. Ooh, wait. Why'd they snap back into that? He said, okay, yeah, devs did confirm it a couple hours ago. Can also confirm the detail about Sandman. Wow. It's gonna be crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's make a slight tweak to the negative monkey. Because you guys are right. I think Bass is the good one. Rebark, you said math is hard. Oh no. Jeff and bounce decks? Oh, he ignores Sandman. Yeah, he ignored... Jeff ignores Sandman, which is crazy. Good game, Rebark. I was concerned that maybe you had a Killmonger hidden under the Dark Dimension for a second with that snapback. So we added him back in Bast. We could do both, but I don't necessarily like doing both because we only have the one card in Mr. Negative that we're shooting for. We could try the Taskmaster, but I like Blue Marvel. Because if we don't hit a big Hitmonkey, then our Taskmaster's generally lackluster. Let's try this for a little bit. Yeah, Jeff can't be stopped by anything. A prototype, he said he confirmed on Discord, but it could be interpreted the other way if he added 1 comma. So kind of like Let's Eat Grandma. That I don't know if they teach that the same way in like in all schools, or if it's just the one that I went to. But it's don't eat, or let's eat grandma just all together. So that's like cannibalism, and then let's eat comma grandma. That's telling the grandma. I don't know. It was so like kind of shocking for my young mind that it just stuck. So like 15 years later, here I am still quoting it. They have those in Texas? I guess so. No, it was just something that that they taught us to like hammer home the point of commas. And then Neon, you said, TLC, first time in your stream, but I love your YouTube videos. Thank you so much for being here, Neon Thief. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. I'm glad you're able to jump in and join us. The streams are definitely a little bit different pace. The wholesome vibe definitely carries over, but it's not quite... I wouldn't say that I'm incredibly consistent or incredibly quick with my gameplay. I get caught up in chat quite often. So we have the Rogue, which I think maybe we just tempo drop the Rogue. Jeff Hoagland can also be played anywhere. It's kind of impressive, Astrid. I love the wholesome vibe here. Yeah, so it's one of those that like we want, competitive gameplay for the stream, but we also want it to be a good time as well. And then Masara, oh, that Masa? Can I just call you Masa? I got lost in all of those letters. I apologize. This said, this is my first time watching your stream. I downloaded Twitch again because of you. Thank you so much for going through the extra effort. Yeah, I was trying to decide between Blue Marvel to the left or right, but if they do Galactus, I think Galactus is strange. That I guess with this being the big house, they couldn't have played Galactus here anyways. So I think we'll play it mid. It disrupts our consistency of draw, but just in case. Oh, it's a Sarah. Wow. Hey, we don't come for your good play. We come for your witty banter. I mean, I try. I try where I can. So now we could do either Mystique and Mojo, or we can do Sarah. We could do Sarah. That would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we top deck a Vibranium, I think we're going to lean in on that. I don't know why it didn't work like that. I added one both ways, one with a space, but for some reason it didn't work like that. Sarah Galactus? Well, they can't Galactus now. And we do get a Vibranium. So how do we want to play it? 5 is the highest power here. We can do... I guess Mojo... I guess Mystique's not going to do us much good. Other than the +1 from Blue Marvel. So we might as well play it to the right. We can do Vibranium and Hit Monkey. If they do an Odin to re-trigger Dr. Doom, that's going to send another 5 here. That brings them to 14. This should overpower that. Yeah, Mystique takes Mojo. I don't think they cap out this lane, but just in case they do, then they lose this one pretty heavily. Or it's either that or we could switch the Vibranium and Mystique, but I don't think they're going to cap this one out either. Have you tried Hitmonkey Thanos? I haven't. I haven't tried Thanos with him just yet. Odin left. That's what I was thinking. They do cap out mid. Oh no. Had we played the Mystique in mid, we would have got an extra +6. Mojo in each lane is safer. I agree. I agree now that I've seen the play. This beats Odin. Odin plus Scorpion, though, I wasn't anticipating. So I don't know that it does. Oh, well, I think it does. Yeah, it sure does. Actually, by quite a bit. We'll take it. We'll take the negative monkey win where we can. Kafitzi and Neon Thief, thank you guys both for the follows. Yeah, and that wasn't even, we didn't even hit Mr. Negative. We have a lot of Vibraniums added into our deck as well. Hit monkey not broken. So it has to be set up. It has to be enabled. I think is where like my argument would being like with it being broken would come from. Like if you hit it, so kind of like a Mr. Negative. If you hit it, then it's hard to stop. But you have to have a lot of things that like kind of work in unison with it. Yeah, it can be bounce, which I think is pretty scary. Bounce to a 1-cost Hitmonkey is terrifying. Good thing about working from home, I can catch my first TLS3 stream. One Bray Dose. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. I'm glad you're able to jump in and join us. How core is Bast? I originally had Sunspot. I don't think he's required. He does help drive some consistency. So he can add 5 extra power, 4 extra power, 4 extra power to Mr. Negative. He can really help enable like your Iron Man and Mystique if they don't get hit with Mr. Negative, so if they don't get inverted. But I think it can be ran without it. It's just not quite as consistent. I play him with a Bast Bounce. Yep, that's what I ran originally. That's what we did the video on. Sarah Bounce or Negative. Monkey has a lot of options, but I don't... He makes those a little bit more consistent than they were originally, but I don't think he like breaks them wide open. It's still very early to tell though. Is everyone excited for High Evolutionary? I think everyone has big hopes in mind for High Evolutionary. You said Thanos is still really strong. Yeah, I agree. I think it's I don't think it's we have Mjolnir to me again. I don't think Thanos is S tier anymore, but it's still very consistent compared to what... So, did I say he? I know that depending on where it's depicted, Bass has been depicted both ways. And so I always try to just say it or they. He said, hey, TLSG, good to see you. Less Mjolnir like this time around. Yeah, so I actually added in a channel point redemption to clear all the Mjolnir queue. So now it works in a queue. But I added in a channel point redemption. So if you just really don't enjoy it, to clear it out entirely. So do we do this? Since this is the last turn here. And then Robe coming in with the channel point redemption to bring us back into a Mjolnir. And I did shorten it. I shortened it to 30 seconds. The problem with this is if they have Heimdall, they can push back over and do quite a bit of power. But I think we're gonna go ahead and do just a lowly 2-power hit monkey. He said, honestly, I love it. It's fun. I think it kind of embodies what our stream is. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Like, we still look to have competitive, like high quality games, but it doesn't look to like just be too serious on itself. And then Nightwing, thank you so much for the raid with the 5 viewers. Hopefully you had a fantastic stream. I'm very glad to have you here. And anyone that's jumping in and joining us, welcome as well. Yeah, we top decked the Iron Man, but I don't know that we need to play it. How can they win? I don't know. Unless they can change. So this one looks like Freddy Babe's version, right? They probably have Shang-Chi, which they use here. But I don't think they can win now. Actually, the Doctor Strange is a bit strange. I don't think that's in Freddy Babe's. Neither is Cloak. Never mind. I think this is just a movement deck. So maybe they look to do a Magneto and Rickety Bridge to pull like Bishop. Mojo loses that 6 power, so it takes away at least 9 power or so in Kiln. I think that's okay. Yeah, this was definitely not a good board for a movement deck. Watch them have Leech. They could have had Leech. Some movement decks have started teching in Leech. So yeah, I agree. You said Nightwing. Sup, dude? I love how you're always streaming after me whenever there's a new card, so I can raid you. I was playing with Hitmonkey just in a Sarah Miracle. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I have queued up. I'm glad I enjoy you raiding over into us. But I do have a Sarah Miracle monkey queued up that I think might be pretty fun to play. So we could do if we put this on just an absolute movement deck, then we could just do Iron Man and Bast. Because if they do Magneto, that's going to destroy it over here. And so then we just lean in with a double power to the right. Bast to the left. Bast to the left is probably safe. The only time I wasn't having fun was when I was playing against Shuri and Thanos Leech. Yeah. So it's a Magneto to the left, right? I guess to the left, not to the right, but... So I think we win right by a large enough margin that after all of these destroy, it's fine. That Leech would have been devastating, though. Had they dropped Leech on 5, we would have had to retreat out. Oh, man. So negative is not doing too bad. I think that's... we haven't hit negative yet, have we? We've played 3 games. I don't think we've even seen Mr. Negative. But we're 2-1 so far. Yeah, it's negative without the negative. Which I have... Oh, we saw him once? I have accidentally built a negative deck and forgot to add negative in. This time we actually see it in the tracker, so we know he's there. It's all because of Monkey. I don't know. Monkey in that one wasn't the key deciding factor, but he does add like another layer. The deck seems very, very good without negative. It seems decent. Like it can hold a good like middle ground, and that's what negative serotonin or this kind of archetype aims to do, is to always be able to do a decent amount of power, even if you don't hit the high roll of the negative. Hi, doggo. Yeah, we had the doggo walk by. She just got off the couch. I heard her shaking her ears. Wakandan Iron Man is big as well. We gambled on the Psylocke. Unfortunately, we don't hit it. I think we play Bishop over to the right. Monkey variant is meh. Yeah, I think the season pass monkey variant is kind of meh. Yeah, it's indeed the animals assembled. You guys are not wrong there. So we can do Angela and Mojo. Iron Man's huge. We still don't have Mr. Negative, unfortunately. Still don't see him. The Hawk into Asgard always really helps make sure that they win that one. So we do hit Sarah here. Ooh, we hit Rogue. We have Rogue too. Rogue is one of those that you don't always get value from. You don't always get value from, but whenever it works really well. We're gonna hold the Rogue. We'll use it into the right lane on the last turn. Care for Enchantress? That's true, but if they enchant... where were they Enchantress? Probably to the left, right? To the left. Correct? I keep saying left, right. I think they Enchantress over here to take out their lizard. But they also... I don't think they would use Enchantress on this lane. Even if we had priority, like, they're not going to Enchantress their own Hawk. We can Rogue. Ooh. Issue becomes winning one of the other ones. Yeah, I wish we would have top decked into Mystique though. That would have really I guess it's only a 4-power Hawk, so it's not that big. So it's almost more worthwhile to do... No, that's more energy. Do we think the Enchantress over here? We probably lose this one. I'm just gonna... They should expect you playing left. Yeah, they Enchantress left to clear their lizard. But I'm curious what they play into mid. And if we can overcome it with the Iron Man. That's close, but I think we do it. Oh, okay, yeah. We do pull that one off. That one's not that one wasn't a comfy win, but it was a win that we'll take. The Rick Grime, MX, Cat Eating Waffle, and then J. Thank you guys for the follows. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. The Rogue, it always feels dirty. When it works, it's kind of like Super Scroll and like a Patriot list. When you get value from it, it's incredible value. But most games, it's just going to be kind of in your hand. You said Guardians 3 tickets went on sale today? I'm going to cry big time. Hopefully Guardians 3 is good. Ook, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. Or night? I'm not sure what time it is for you. We do get Mr. Negative, so we at least get that on 4. We have, depending on what else we hit, we'll see how good it is. Yeah, we actually have we actually have negative at hand. Who would have thought? Rapidly decomposing? Absolutely. Right after this game, I'll switch over into it. Do we feel like magic for this list with Hitmonkey, as it gives us a bigger turn 7? Potentially. Potentially over Blue Marvel. Blue Marvel is one of those that feels like he's okay sometimes, but a lot of times he just feels kind of lackluster. And then Lord Brown using the choose my card back. Right after this one, I'll let you choose the card back as well. I feel like whenever I play negative, I always have Iron Man in hand. Me too. Me too. It feels like it's like a magnet for your hand. At least this time we have a couple of decent cards that can be inverted. We have the Hitmonkey, we have Mystique, Bishop. All are pretty good to be hit with the inversion. Yeah, Ook, you said I just found out Hitmonkey doesn't need to be the last card played. Yeah. So that makes any kind of like arrow play potential like not viable. Ooh, we do get the inverted Mystique, which is big. So maybe we do or Iron Man mid. Next turn we could do Mystique to the left. And then we'll kind of play from there. Derek, you said we getting wasps? Negative rocks will carry. The negative rocks are going to bring us home. And then Willie Wet, thank you so much for the follow as well. Ooh, so they skip and soak in the left lane. Ooh. It's that negative rock. It's the negative rock. We could do... That's actually not terrible. This is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Doubled. I think that's enough to win left, and then we're just pushing to win mid. Negative rock actually clutch. You said Marvel to the left? You think we need extra over there? I think our biggest negative rock mid. Okay. Okay, so this and this. Is that what we're thinking? Negative rock mid and Marvel left. So they skipped. I think in their head this is enough because we have Iron Man in mid. So I think if I was in Whisker's spot, I wouldn't play for left anymore. I would play for mid or right because we already have an 11-point lead. That's going to be hard to overcome. Stegron might enable Kingpin. Wow, that is a massive commitment into mid. Oof. I don't know if we beat that as is. Maybe with the blue Marvel stacked with if it comes down to the extra plus 2 from the negative rock. No, not quite. Unfortunately, not quite. Had we pushed anything to the right, we would have won. Woof. They weren't scared of mid. You said Stegron might enable Kingpin a bit more, like Arrow and Juggernaut. I'm interested to see play around potential with Stegron. I don't know. He might be kind of like a Negasonic Teenage Warhead, where it's a little bit clunky to use. I was expecting a She-Hulk too. I wasn't expecting an Infinite. Sandville, you said good night. Are you headed to bed? I definitely thought it was She-Hulk as well. Unfortunately, we were all bamboozled. Let's go ahead and skip this turn. We'll hold the Bass for now. Yeah, I think Stegron's what, 4? Yeah, 4, 5. And so I think it could potentially become like a Negasonic Teenage Warhead. But if the opponent caps out a lane, if the opponent caps out a lane, you can play it into that location and move one of their cards out. So if they play into Space Throne early, you can then shift that card away. It's a fun card, but I don't know how great it's going to be. I think it's going to take a while to build something around. Thinking of anything we currently have, it doesn't feel like it slots into it nicely or cleanly at 4 cost. New addition to the Cerebro 5? That's true. I don't know if they will nerf the monkey. The monkey doesn't necessarily feel... Oh, we get Mr. Negative turn too late. The monkey doesn't feel like he just breaks the game wide open. Like, he's very solid value. But unless you have a way to enable it consistently, I don't know. Maybe once Kitty Pryde is back, we'll see the full effect of all of these cards, like really helping instigate or helping enable Angela, Bishop, and just that cohort of cards. We have Mr. Negative on 4, Sarah on 5, into just the flood of cards, right? He was originally +3. That would have been insane. Had it stayed. Is that a bot? They're running a movement deck, so it looks like it. But they have some. I don't know. I don't know if it's a bot or not. This could be like a bot name. It's very like standard naming, but I don't know for sure. Let's do Sarah mid. That should probably drop our initiative. Yeah, bot. It's a bot for sure. I don't know why we're facing so many bots. It is impossible split. Oh, yeah, that's an impossible split. The Vulture gives it away? Yeah, it has the Kirby on a default background. I agree. That's true. So, they don't have any on reveal. Float can move cards over here, but we could do Iron Man, Mystique. Iron Man, Mystique, Mojo, Hitmonkey. We get the extra +6 for moving Mr. Negative over here. +3 from Iron Man. I think this is okay. I'm not gonna. It's a bot, so we're not gonna do the specific math, but I think it's good enough. Hitmonkey boot should be pretty large in the right lane, especially copying the Iron Man. Is Rogue worth it? If it gets hit with Mr. Negative, it's a 1/3, which is solid. So this one doesn't angle towards like the greedy or like really high roll plays. So the Arnhem Zola, the Taskmaster, it looks to be like consistent or like middle ground all the way through. And so Rogue slots into that very well. If they happen to be running an ongoing, you can get a lot of value from it. So I like Rogue in this Mr. Negative style build. If it's going for the higher roll, then I think Rogue is one of the first ones cut. Oh, for the card back. Oh, thank you, Lord Bruh. Let's switch. We'll do the Black Panther, and then we will do the rapidly decomposing title. You guys got to keep me in check. Let's see. Where's rapidly decomposing? Maybe Hitmonkey with Beast? Actually, haven't seen a single Sandman tonight. I know like some people have been saying they've seen a lot of it. I haven't seen it at all yet. There we go. We found the rapidly decomposing. Yeah, we have the talking Mjolnir. So I did use so this is the deck that I covered on YouTube. So this is the link if you want a structured like breakdown of the bounce deck that I used. That's a link to the YouTube video that I covered for like this one. So the Beast with the Hitmonkey, which does enable quite a bit of like kind of crazy plays. Waspinator, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. You just got into a game, Weird World into District X. That's rough, Robe. Proto, I said Prototype, you said I'm kind of sad because they locked the base Silver Surfer avatar and the Herald of Galactus title behind ranked. Oh, yeah, because those weren't in beta either. So hopefully they're re-released at some point. And then KK Sparkles coming in with the raid of 62. Thank you so much for the raid, KK. Hopefully you had a fantastic stream. Were you trying out Hitmonkey? And then for any of the raiders coming in, if you haven't seen me before, I normally stream during the daytime for me. So like usually my stream time is about 12 hours from now. And I do daily videos on YouTube. That's where the bulk of our content is. But we're very wholesome, very positive here. I'm very glad to have you here. Welcome in. Hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic night. And Snarfy, you said I'm playing Hitmonkey. What kind of shell have you been enjoying the most with it? Then KK, you said I'm usually in the afternoons as well. Love your streams. Thank you so much, KK Sparkles. Huge positive support coming through. I've seen your stream pop up a couple of times, but I haven't checked it out. Next time I'm perusing through the streams and looking for one to lurk in, I'll load yours up and check it out. But thank you for being here. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Snarfy, you said you like it in the Miracle. Yeah. Is it nighttime where you live? Yeah, so it's almost 2 a.m. where I live, Flamingo. Mojo and Mojo in Mojo World. It's fitting. It's very needed. Yeah. So this one is it's like a negative serotonin. I've tried a couple of different builds. The original that I was running was a Beast Bounce. I have 3 others. So this negative one, I have a Sarah Miracle, like a standard Sarah Miracle, and then I have a Moon Zoo version that I want to try out at some point. So we can do Mystique. It's Weird World. So we're drawing all of their cards. I'm replacing Rogue with Ironheart for the 0 power. Not enough one going. You can do that. That's also, it's a viable one as well. Hitmonkey might make me spend money on Snap for the first time. Hitmonkey is one of those. It feels pretty strong, but I don't know. It's still day 1, so we don't know how the rest of the game or the rest of the ladder is going to shake out once everyone wakes up into normal hours. We also don't know what it's going to look like after the balance patch, which usually comes out a few days after season reset. What is a good sub for people who don't have Bast? So in place of Bast, I originally had Sunspot. With a negative deck, if you're hitting your high roll, you oftentimes float quite a bit of energy. Whenever I face them, I'm assuming I'm getting leeched. Oh, Astrid, you said KK Sparkles has leeched me so often. KK Sparkles, is KK Sparkles a leech enjoyer? Yeah, Rogue as Sarah is going to be huge. And then I think we almost want to just play Max or play our Hitmonkey out onto the board already. So Rogue is going to pop over here. So we're going to go ahead and Hitmonkey into the left lane because Rogue is going to stack into mid. You said you hate Leech? Leech is greater than Leader. Leech is one of those that it's just a feel bad card. So like even if you can still beat it, you don't feel like you got a solid victory out of it because it makes sure that you can't play your cards the way that you want to play your cards. You've been watching the content since launch? Snarfy, that's huge. Hopefully you're enjoying it still. It's definitely continually growing. So I'm still finding like the perfect balance and trying to improve as I go. I think we just changed the left lane. We Shang-Chi mid, and I think that maybe should be enough. Yeah, it's a no fun card. So I understand its purpose. It needs to be in there to like keep other things in balance and in check. Why nobody used Mr. Negative with Foster? So for me, if I'm going for Jane Foster with a Mr. Negative deck, it's a very high roll. So it doesn't happen very often. When it does, you pretty much just win that one. So you want to build in a lot more like high roll enabling cards. So like your Arnim Zola, your Taskmaster, some really big cards that get inverted to 0 cost. For this one, this is much more like mid-range for the Orange Pro. Weird World definitely ruined it. It gave you just a hodgepodge of cards. Good match, by the way, Orange Pro. Hopefully we'll match up again soon. But, so with Mr. Negative, it's one of those that I've seen it built both ways. The Jane Foster is very rare whenever it pops off, but when it does, it's like it's such a high roll. I was bracing myself with Bar with No Name on that Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is always one that is very scary on the last turn. I don't play Scarlet Witch a lot just because of the potential negative downside from it. And Mr. Negative has not been the same since he was like 4-4 or even 4-1. So at that point, we had like I think a little bit stronger Sarah. We had the magic we could play on 6, which was really the big driving factor for the list, was being able to drop a surprise magic to extend the game after you had already dropped your Sarah. It's still okay. It just we've had a lot of other cards added into the game that make it a little bit like that high roll reach doesn't reach as consistently as it needs to now. Yeah, 4-4 negative was wild. Like whenever we found the negative serotonin build, wherever it originated from, after that it was just so constant. Negative serotonin was everywhere. Yeah, drawing magic on 6 is now it just feels bad. Yeah, he used to be so Arlo. So I have some like useless beta knowledge in my head. So he used to be 4/4. Hellcow used to be a 2/6 with the same effect. Strong Guy was a 2/3 with a +6 ongoing ability. So if you emptied your hand, it was a 9 power 2 cost. And a handful of other enablers like that. So Devil Dino used to be a 3/0. Moon Girl was I think it was a 3/4. It was a 3 cost. Yeah, Beta Nova was also a wild time. Yeah, some of those were like, I don't know. I don't know how they made it into the game. Lady Sif also used to be 2. It was a 2/4 into a a Ghost Rider that was, I think, 3/4 or something like that. Yeah, you could do both on 5. It was a wild time. It was a very wild time. Super Mage, you said I've been playing a good bit of negative. I think it's got a good Shuri matchup, but Fold's hard to leech. Yep, anytime you get leech with a negative deck, especially if you're just like stacking or holding in your cards, it's tough. I don't think we can ever win mid now. I mean, we have Blue Marvel, but that's not huge for us. We can try. No wonder this card isn't good anymore. They were so strong already. Yeah, so in Collector used to give you +2. So Collector was a more consistent Morbius in a discard deck than Morbius. Like the amount of things that he enabled was just wild. And then P1, he said with the late stream. Yep, it is that late stream guy now. That is the name that we're going by. Oh, we don't have Mystique. We assume they probably do a Doctor Doom, right? Maybe a Doctor Doom and a She-Hulk. I think they win this one. With the Quake play, all golden too. Like that is some Quake dedication. This one's a retreat. Because if they do a Doctor Doom, like we can beat just the Doctor Doom, but the Doctor Doom and She-Hulk is where it becomes an issue. I got to Infinite last season with the Hella discard. Kamartaj super spiced up the Lady Sif. Yeah, so... Oh, a Hella discard. Wow. So you were absolutely... Hella is one of those that's... It doesn't have to necessarily be consistent, because you can steal away some of those games. You can get some really big cube games from like top decking a Hella, or just resummoning some really strong cards. They should have a weekend every so often that's just OP weekend. Undo all the nerfs and let Chaos run wild. I would both dread and look forward to that at the same time. My first time to Infinite last season was Shuri. I got her late, but pushed and made it. See, Shuri is still really solid. It has a lot of negative sentiment to it, but it wouldn't be a meta deck if it wasn't consistent, it wasn't strong. And so, like, people that say they feel bad for running Shuri, like, I say run it. That's the same thing I told people that were running Thanos Leech. If it wasn't as strong as it was, as many people wouldn't be running it as they are. If there was a solid way to counter it, we would have found it. And so, I think... Yeah, I think if it's as strong and it fits your playstyle. So I liked playing Shuri quite a bit for a while. And then it just like kind of blasted off in popularity. Did Second Dinner take away the +5? I did hear something about that October. I don't know for sure. I haven't hit 80, so I don't know. There's no shame in Shuri. It's just negative connotation or negative sentiment that comes along with it. You said people saying they feel sorry for running Shuri. No, I enjoyed Shuri quite a bit. I did Zabu Sarah last season for Infinite and Thanos the previous season. Yep, winning is winning. If you're getting cubes, then that's all that matters. So we know that they have a Quake. They have a lot of dedication to this particular build. A lot of gold cards. I mean, do we double down on the Mystique? We can even... That would make this 3... I guess that's not huge. It'd be a little bit better if we did something like... maybe this. Then on the last turn, we can do... This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then depending on what we draw into, we might finish it off. Wow, late stream. Actually early for it. Yep, we're still going. We did the video. We recorded the games for it. We posted it, and then we are now back again. Ooh, so they Enchantress are Sarah. Oof. Yeah, I do think... So I understand to a point why they don't do it at the same time. So if they do it at the same time, there's more factors in play that could potentially go wrong. And so I understand from like a creator standpoint why they might not do it together. But from a player standpoint, going into the same season or into a new season with the same cards as last one feels bad overall. So we no longer get the big hit monkey anymore. You look hammered? I mean, it's a late stream. We gotta do what we gotta do to make it through. We can no longer do the really big hit monkey, so Sentinel actually sadly becomes better here. I don't know that this wins. Doctor Doom is big. And Mystique's gonna pull over into mid anyways. We should have just played it to enable the Angela. Oh no. That would have been +2 here. We would have lost left anyways. Okay, so it's fine. That emote is beautiful. Is it the Mjolnir? Yeah, that's actually me with the filter of the Mjolnir. Mjolnir speaks wisdom. Yep, we are absolutely nailing it. Anyone know how to fix being stuck in a game? I know that a couple people mention it. If it's you're stuck in like a disconnect loop, the game state, from what I've gathered, only stays open for about 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, it should clear itself. I don't know how to like force clear it before that though. Why not Jane Foster instead of Rogue? So we don't have any like major cards to hit with Jane Foster. So for me, Jane Foster, there's two ways to build negative for me. Either like a mid-range where you're looking to like stay consistent. So if you miss Mr. Negative, you can still sometimes sneak out a win. Or the incredible high roll one where it runs things like Arnim Zola, Taskmaster, your really big inverted resources. So like if you don't hit Mr. Negative, then you pretty much retreat. The soft Doctor Doom because of Bast and... Wait, I may have missed the first part of that. I think they should do more working in bringing up underused cards instead of nerfing a lot. Yeah. Yep, like Crystal. Crystal has not been used since like day one. So the Wolverine buff, the Sandman buff, really brought them into like a very good spot. Like Wolverine isn't enabled as much as Sandman was, but it still makes him playable. Something like Crystal hasn't been played since the game was in beta, and I would much rather have those kind of brought up rather than bringing everything else down. It is much harder to find a good way to balance by bringing up rather than just taking out the outliers that are performing poorly, though. Ooh, we get the snapback. So the Bast and Zabu could be a Hawk deck, but Hawk doesn't really benefit from Shuri's Lab. Maybe it's some kind of bounce deck that runs Zabu. Seems a little bit wild, but it seemed like they were... Oh wow, no, it is a Mr. Negative deck. Are we sure we added Bast? I feel like I haven't seen Bast. This is a bot? I don't know. That Mr. Negative play was like on par for what somebody would play. Same with the Bast Zabu. Do bots play Mr. Negative? The outliers on both ends? Yeah, I feel like they should focus on both. Not a bot? I don't think so. Like this looks like a bot, but maybe they're just pretending to be a bot to try and get people to overcommit. Bot pretenders? Yeah. They're trying to be sneaky. Unfortunately, we have our Iron Man. We do get Hit Monkey, which is going to be good to use as a flood card. If they play an ongoing card early, then we can steal it with Rogue. Snap back into negative. Probably not a bot. Yeah. Okay, Bishop's another good enabler here. So they played Hawk in the left lane. We can steal it eventually. Do we go Blue Marvel or do we do Iron Man? Blue Marvel allows us to overcome the Danger Room. Iron Man, if we top deck into Mystique, which we have a 25% chance of that. Oh, Zabu's also ongoing. Gotcha. So we have the 50-50 hit of what this pulls into. I don't think we risk it with the Rogue. How are the Hit Monkey games going? They're fun. We're trying out a couple of different ones. Mr. Negative is not one that I anticipate to be like super strong or consistent. But it's one of those that sometimes you get a pretty cool Hit Monkey off of it. So they do get the Sarah. Ooh. We really need a Mystique top deck here. Mystique top deck would be amazing. But Hit Monkey overall I've found is pretty fun in a lot of shells. So I've been enjoying Hit Monkey quite a bit. That is a Mojo, which is still, I guess, okay. We can do double down on Bishop. Do the Mojo. They reveal first. So I think we just do this. Is Hawk that good on Zabu decks? How do you enable him? So in Mr. Negative, a lot of times the way that I ran it, Mr. Negative was much more of a like Silver Surfer build. So I would have like a Brood, and maybe like a Silver Surfer, maybe a Wong. If I ran these two together. Been using some junk deck against these Hit Monkey decks, and it's performing really well. I could see that. Time to flip that coin. I'm thinking we do, because if they cap out here, then Mojo is going to be huge, and then we just push for a lot of power on the right. Not Rogue mid for the try. We could, but they have to try as well, and so I don't know. I guess this would come down to a 50-50. I think this lane's going to be pretty big for us, though. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like playing left and right and just leaving mid as a tie is our play. I'm scared of playing Monkey due to fear of Sandman. I haven't seen a Sandman all night. I know that depending on... I've heard of a couple people saying that they were matching into a lot of Sandman, but I haven't. I haven't seen one all night. It should be a big Monkey. So the Mystique doesn't copy anything, which is okay. So this is not an ongoing. They have a big Monkey too. They're running a negative no way. We ran the one other person in the game running a negative Monkey, which I think we're gonna lose to. Oh man. I saw so much Sandman. Yeah, I don't know how we got lucky, but oh no, it's not gonna do it. Ugh. That was such a similar play. They just had the Sarah to enable it a little bit further. That was a big 8-cuber too. Oof. But KK, you said you've been seeing a lot of Sandman? I don't know why we haven't been seeing very much. I've seen quite a bit of Shuri, quite a bit of like the actual Hit Monkey play as well. All right, so let's go ahead and switch. We're going to run the Sarah Monkey for a little while, and then we'll hit Monkey, or we'll run the Moon Zoo a little bit later. This has been my experience a lot with negative decks. A lot of Bishop missing by 1 or 2. Yeah. Negative is one of those that you don't necessarily play for like consistent climb. It's just one of those that sometimes you put up like absurdly large numbers. Can you play a list without Bast? Absolutely, Fid. Welcome to our list without Bast. And then Moon Zoo also is, or the Moon Zoo version of the Hit Monkey is also not going to have Bast whenever we play that. I was really hoping it wasn't going to pull into Hit Monkey in mid. The Nimrod. Okay, so it's either Galactus. Why is it that after giving me a cheating bot, they give me a cube donating bot? They had the right size of the world. They had to course correct themselves. Have you previously tried this list? So before Hitmonkey, before Hitmonkey, this was a Scarlet Witch. And the list did pretty decently. I actually covered it on a video. Let me pull up the snap.fan link for it. You don't have to watch the video, but it gives you the build. If you do want to watch the video, then it's linked there as well. Let's see. I thought I covered it for a video. Oh, I didn't build it in snap.fan. My bad. So I lied. I'm going to give you the YouTube link instead. I apologize. So this is me covering that list. It just, instead of Hitmonkey, it's Scarlet Witch for a little bit of locational control. So overall, I think it works with or without Hitmonkey. And it's decent. It has a lot of answers to a lot of the opponent's plays. So they did run Green Goblin. We don't have Arrow built in though. We would have to rely on a Magneto if they had a 3-cost somewhere, but I doubt that they do. Does Magneto pull the Goblin that they play? Unfortunately, it doesn't. They are going to try and make us kneel.
Hey,
Just a
welcome.
Fiction. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. That bumps us up to 21 for the day. Huge support coming from you guys. Wow, so they're not going to try and make us kneel before Galactus. Interesting. Oh, you said you opened Shadow King? Ooh, that's tough. So we could Sarah to get the free 6 cost. And then I think we try to win these 2 lanes. They might have a Destroyer, but they've already destroyed here. So that seems like the Venom to further enable. We have the leader for mid. It does look like an honest Destroy deck. So leader, Magneto. I guess we could try to Magneto the Venom, right? Magneto to the left. Because I think they're going to Arnim Zola here. Leader to copy the Destroyer. Ooh, do you think they Destroyer? I think they Arnim Zola. And I may have to go help my daughter. She's sick, so she's... I think I hear her crying. I'm going to give her a minute, see if she... is able to get it figured out. We're gonna try the leader, and I guess Armzola, Magneto's will. Oh, we don't have initiative, do we? So we'll do this. If they Arnim Zola, oh no, that's not great either. Oh man. So you can, yeah, that's what I was. I can't find a way that I want to play this. We could do leader and then what, Shang-Chi, but if they move the Venom here, then that's going to send these Nimrods over to the right, which is not what we want to do. I think we have to retreat out of this one. I can't figure this one out in my head. I can't figure it out. Magneto, Mysterio mid. So my issue with the Mysterio is that since we didn't have initiative, if it was an Arnim Zola, then this pushes anyways. And so then we have the Nimrods over to the right and just not a lot we can do about it. Revark, you said, this makes me feel good. 23.24 terabyte surplus upload credit. Oh, so you have a lot more upload credits? So you didn't use all of them from last month? Is that am I interpreting the message right? And then Astrid, you said I'm turning in for the night. Thanks for the late stream. Thank you so much for joining us, Astrid. Depressed Unicorn, are you infinite yet? No, usually I don't hit infinite too quick. So we're still hovering around the 70s. We played a negative deck for a while.
Hey, welcome.
Caro Kings, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Very glad to have you. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Any word on when we get Kitty back? Hopefully soon. She phased herself right out of the game, and she's been stuck ever since. But no, I haven't heard any word so far. Oh, ratio to do for sailing the high seas. Gotcha. Okay. So whenever you become a sailor, the iron... Oh, this looks like a bot. We're going to try and get our cubes back from the bot. It's definite bot-like behavior. They played multiple man. They played Iron Fist and played multiple man all the way to the left. Fruit, you said I took off my glasses to clean them and suddenly you turned into Mjolnir. I thought I went crazy. Maybe you did. Maybe there's no Mjolnir. There was never a Mjolnir. There hasn't been a Mjolnir all along. Multiple man with Crackle? I don't know. There's some move enjoyers out there, but no, that definitely seems like it was. It is a move enjoyer. I must have had too much wine. Oof. The Mjolnir was the friends we made along the way. Yep, the Mjolnir was a lie. Not the Mjolnir you're looking for. Go ahead and do, I think, this. The only hardcore move enjoyer I know is Molt. I know Kraken Knoll also does a lot of movement builds. Like he enjoys movement quite a bit. And then every once in a while Mogwai does it. Likes to run some move as well. Some like super off meta movement though. I think we do Sarah, and then we'll just flood the board. Is the Mjolnir in the room with us? It is. It is in the room. Well, nope, it's gone. You spoke it out of existence. Maybe going too far all in on the left lane. I have a big respect for full inked move and Deadpool players. That is a lot of dedication because those cards are not always great. They come in and out of the meta for sure. So anyone that commits that much dedication to it definitely deserves a big props. I like how the laundry basket in the background has become a thing at this point. I'm slowly moving it closer and closer every day, just like a smidge every single day. And so eventually it's going to be like right up on the stream. And Revark enjoying the movement. Yeah, it'll be a basket stream before too long. That would be so good, Revark. If I was telling you guys that I was moving it, but it was actually just staying exactly where it was. That'd be too mean, though. We could use channel points to move it back a little bit so that we slowly but surely back it away. You know how I was about to mention the laundry basket? It's in every YouTube video I've seen. And at this point, I look for it. The day it goes missing, I'll be very upset. So it's actually a blanket basket. So that's where we keep all of our blankets. But it definitely looks like a laundry basket. Did you turn into a VTuber? Yeah, for just a split second, we did, Snarfy. I kind of missed the last turn Heimdall moves. Yeah, it's definitely not as consistent. Now it's much more in line with like Magneto. But every once in a while, you get a surprise last turn Heimdall. How do you guys know that TLSG isn't actually the basket? We don't. We never truly know. Don't you just put the blankets on the couch? Yeah, we just have so many. Because my daughter likes to like put them on the floor, and like when she's playing on the ground, she likes to lay on them. Same thing for our dogs. That way we can make little pallets on the ground. So we have extras. Plus they get hairy because my Great Pyrenees dogs, they shed like crazy. Heimdall is predictable, but it creates so much power and movement decks. Yep, it's very true. So we know that Launchpad has been running a Quake on us all night. All night, he's been destroying us with Quake. So I think we're going to finally try to anticipate the Quake play. You don't have to front. We know that it's you shedding. I am getting old. We are starting to get a little bit old. No, they don't go with oh wow. They don't go with Quake this time around. This is Alex. You said it's really funny how it's slowly creeping. Like it started in that far back corner, and so it's slowly but surely creeping a little bit at a time. So they played us with the Quake. Yeah, so I have 3 Great Pyrenees. They're anywhere from I think 60 to 80 pounds, maybe a little bit more for the biggest one. But they're all pretty big at this point. So they bamboozled us with the no Quake this time around. Launchpad McQuack has been getting us every single game. Yeah, we have 3. That's why we need to rotate out our blankets. And what does Miss TLSG do for work? So Miss TLSG is in college right now. She's finishing up. She went back. So whenever we were expecting our daughter, she couldn't do the science labs that she needed to do. And so she's recently got re-enrolled. Zelda Never Ends. You said I'm playing the exact list, but instead of Magneto, I'm running Chavez for better early curve. Oh, nice. Thinking about adding in Arrow or Sneaky Spider-Woman. I think all of those would do pretty decently in the list. And then Fid, you had said, have you seen the Electro Sandman with Heimdall? Yeah, I have. So the Heimdall ramp. I know that Binks at one point covered one, and it's decent. It's not one that you get use out of Heimdall every single game, but sometimes you do. And then Commando for the win. Thank you so much for the follow. And same thing for those that I missed. So Filler Up and David, thank you both for the follows. I mean, we can always just MODOK. Just throw down MODOK, right? So the Hood and the Angela. I think we still play this a little bit conservative. We play just the Sarah and just the Nova, and then we'll slow play the rest. Miss Old Sarah on this deck? Yeah. Yep. Arrow, Magneto replaced the Arrow that used to be there. I can't wait for Hitmonkey's brother to be added to the game. Wait, does he really have a brother, like, canonically? I'm trying Hawk Zabu Sarah, but with Goose to drop onto Shuri Cosmo lane. Hopefully it goes well, the luck. I actually haven't seen, like, it hasn't been a polarizing amount of Shuri. Like, it's enough to respect it, but not enough where it feels like it's just every single game we're going against it. Revark, you said Monkey Bounce is making my head hurt. Changing to something easier. Yeah, Monkey Bounce can be a bit much. Wait. That you don't even notice, and the pity is... Oh, it's too late. That's going over my head, Revark. Maybe a bit too late for me. So they cap out mid. They play Sauron, so it's like a Sauron. Oh no, they got that from the hub. Interesting. So I think we just play our bishop. On the last turn, we can always do quite a few. We can try to hit a Shang-Chi as long as we drop initiative. If we get Killmonger, that'll destroy some of their power, their burst. Scarlet says slap orangutan. Yeah, that joke went over my head too. Hitmonkey has a Netflix show. Yeah, I knew it was either Netflix or Hulu, but either one I didn't have access to. I don't have a subscription or an active subscription to them. I think we're going to skip again. On the last turn, we can, as long as we don't have initiative, we can just flood what we need to. Oh, Revarg, it's too... we're not... we haven't had enough Mjolnirs claimed to be silly enough to sing it. Anyone know when the next series drop is? They typically do it on the first patch of the season, so sometimes it's a couple days after season refresh. Sometimes it's a little like a week or so, a week or two. So our last one was 2 weeks ago. I would expect maybe another week, maybe two, before the series drop happens. So they have it's a decent sized hit monkey. We do have the bishop that we can Shang-Chi in the right lane. This is capped out, so I think we're okay to do Sentinel. No. Our Mysterio got hit twice with Iceman, right? Oh, that's tough. It'd either be that or the Shang-Chi. So maybe the Sentinel and Hitmonkey. That's going to be... It's only going to be 4 power Hitmonkey. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It only pushes us to 11 here. Do you have a favorite Hitmonkey archetype yet? I haven't played much of the Zoo, but so far the bounce is like the most consistently where it actually enables the Hitmonkey. Some of the other ones, it doesn't do it as often or as consistently as you'd like. I think we're going to retreat out of this one. Yeah, they said, I've heard Bast, Valkyrie, Super Scroll, and then one other card. I think they were predicting go down to pool 3. Arlo, you said Revis hit Infinite earlier with Hitmonkey. Do you know if Revis is in bot MMR range? If so, I think it might be a bit easier. And I know that Revis is a solid player, so I could see them being good enough to like jump up into the bot MMR. I got Scroll randomly when he was a pool 5. I mean, he's useful sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes. He's in bot MMR. That definitely makes the climb, or the initial climb, like quite a bit faster. When they kidnapped your boy and forced you to do evil, I created an iron suit to protect my people. Escaped bound to be Iron Man. The billionaire Tony Stark. I'll renew your faith. No wiser words were ever said, Revark. Except for maybe I love you 3000. Copyright stripe? Oof, we're going to get taken down. You got Super Scroll at 1.4 and Sentry at 2.6. Rin. So I actually haven't pulled a Series 5 on this account. And I've gained like 7,000 or 8,000 collection levels since the cards were released. I've had to buy them all with tokens. Why do people think playing against bots all day is satisfying? No, it's definitely not satisfying. Like, it would get boring very quickly. Which is why I'm glad we don't necessarily bump up into that bot territory. Because it does get very old very quickly. I think a small mixture of bots in there is good. But too many is just very, very boring. People like to win and put rank 1 million in their stream title. I mean, it's catchy. It's definitely catchy. Or excuse me, Perry Necessary, you said about to hit Infinite. 80 games in and only played 10 games against real people. Oof. That is tough, Perry. Hopefully that gets solved soon. Hopefully. But we don't know for sure. My RNG in pulling Series 5 out of caches were Dazzler, Valkyrie literally days before they were announced to be dropped. Ooh, that's tough too. Pulling one right like the day before it drops down is always going to be tough. They might Professor X the Muir Island location. What are the best counters to Hitmonkey? Junk decks I think are decent. Junk decks that naturally want to run wave, and then like Sandman Electro ramps are also solid. So we could do the 1, 2, 3. It'll clear up a space here, and then the double hit monkey. I don't know that wins. That's the best power we can put out there. The only pull 5 card you got was Kang. TNT. I know there's some Kang enjoyers out there. I'm not one of them. How can you tell if it's a Mysterio before Killmonger? Oof. Malgaroth. That's true. We should have done that. We should have ordered it better. So Mysterio bots will typically have like a very like base name. So something like Mia or like Brandon or Blaine or just something like that. And then the only like surefire way to tell is for like splits that just aren't possible to actually get. Oh, we do win. So the second trigger of Hitmonkey was much better than I anticipated. I guess there is a bot spreadsheet as well. But like if they have a black and white split and it has no particle effect, most likely it's a bot. And yeah, and they snap when winning 2 locations, even if it looks like you're building up into a big play. But those are some of the like Martha, yeah, just a like real common like first name style username. Why was the second Hitmonkey? Because he's on reveal. So the first one triggers, so it's like a Wolfsbane. The first one triggers when it's played into that second late location. That on reveal triggers again. And so if you happen to play him into a Wong lane or a Kamartage, he triggers. He gets the +2 power 2 separate times. Yeah, so he can get kind of wild. I'm wanting to brew a build. I know that there's been a couple of people that covered one, but I want to brew a build that uses like Hitmonkey and Wong, maybe Shuri, and a few other like 4 costs to see if there's some cool ways to really enable him. Do bots play instantaneously? There's usually like a 5-second gap because they can see what you play before they make their plays or before they make their decisions of where to play. And so usually it's not like right away instantaneously. I want to play Mysterio, but I also want to enable Hitmonkey. We're going to do it. We're going to play the real Mysterio next turn. Actually, let's play it here. We can either do Enchantress or Shang-Chi. Both are perfectly fine. It looks like they're running a bounce deck, and we took out their Bast, we took out their Korg, so they can't pull those back in. Muffin Man, he said got to go now. It was nice catching the stream. Thank you for being here while you could, Muffin Man. Hopefully you have a great rest of your night or day, whatever time it is for you, where you're at. How about a Moon Girl and Collector with Monkey? Potentially. I haven't tried the Moon Girl and Collector piece. I do have a Moon Zoo in mind. Has Magneto been useful in the deck? Magneto is useful sometimes, so getting extra push into like a Plunder Castle lane, or like stacking their 4 and 3 cost cards when they're not anticipating it. So it's much more of a surprise factor. You said I'm quite surprised with the lack of Collector. So for me, for bounce decks, I'm waiting to really have Kitty Pryde to enable the Collector. At that point, I think we start seeing Collectors teched into that build a lot more frequently. For the Moon Girl, I don't know. Those seem like they have a really high roll, but Moon Girl Collector doesn't always seem super consistent. So I don't know. I'll have to play around with that particular one. So I think we Enchantress mid and we Shang-Chi to the right. That'd be pretty broken with Kitty. Yep, I agree. So with Kitty Pryde and like the Beast Bounce and all, they absolutely just baited us with the Beast. Wow, that is rough. Okay, well, may the better player win, and it looks like that's going to be Frozen Fires tonight. So the reason I'm curving this out early is I don't anticipate them playing their cards this turn. So, I mean, maybe we do a Magneto. We don't have anything we're grabbing from the right lane, so that's an easy lane for them to swing. And then a Hawk here. This is going to be a retreat. They absolutely just played around us in the Bifrost, forcing us to cap this one out. We couldn't even do the Shang-Chi. That was an awful storm. And then Lord Bro, you said it's nice waking up to your stream. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I enjoy doing these late nights. Tomorrow I will definitely be very sleepy, but I enjoy doing them around like new card releases and at different times. You said there was a thread on Reddit where some players basically gave a guideline to how to appear like a bot. They basically scam people into snaps while playing swing decks. That's so... like, you have to go through a lot of... like, I'm assuming they do a name change, an avatar change, just to everything look like a bot. That's so wild. But if people are enjoying doing that, then... and do they like fist bump right afterwards to let them know, like, I'm a real player and just, like, BM it? I prefer playing Star-Lord than Hitmonkey and Sarah deck. Yeah, it's not one that always hits. And so I'm actually not... I don't think it's actually, like, doing incredibly well. There has been several games where Hitmonkey has been absolutely critical with this list and being able to find a win. But Star-Lord, I think, is probably consistent. Do you have to go down in rank to get rank rewards? You don't. So all you have to do is play a minimum of 10 ranked games, and then you should have access to all of the previous ranks. Met a player that acted like a bot, that kept emote spamming me on 5. That's not very bot-like. Snarvy. I'm going to try Monkey, Collector, Beast, Zabu, Sentinel, Mysterio, Lizard, Bishop, Shang-Chi, Enchantress, Moon Girl, Sarah. So with the Collector, you typically want to get rid of your hand a little bit early. And so like Moon Girl in this one, since you don't have a way to really control what's left in your hand, I'd be worried that your hand would get congested. Because you're most of the time gonna skip 1/1. I guess Zabu would help. You could get rid of that. You might play your Mysterio early. You might run into hand size issues, but otherwise I think it's a cool idea. Because the Sarah could really enable like a last turn just flood of stuff. Where you could do like with your Zabu, you could do some like big burst plays. I need to figure out my play. Hold on. Launchpad has been absolutely obliterating us all night. This is the time that they're going to quake, right? They're going to quake. Do you ever do deck reviews or give suggestions for changes? Every once in a while, I'll do like I'll review a deck, but usually a lot of like my feel for how a deck is performing is based on like first like looking at the core pieces, but a lot of it comes from feel, like testing and running the deck. You can get a really good feel for like what it feels like it's missing pretty quickly. Oddly enough, top decking Nova here. Actually, we don't want to do Sarah. Sarah would make our Sentinel and Mysterio unplayable here. So I guess we just Enchantress? We could always Mysterio in the last turn, but that doesn't feel great either. Yeah, Quake failed that time. Launchpad has absolutely been just destroying me all night. But yeah, no, it's a great Quake split they have. Okay, so how do we win this one? We don't top deck the Nova. Welcome in, Brianta's faction. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Couldn't play Nova anyways. You're right, Sandwich. Also incredible name. when leader was a thing, Mysterio was an amazing counter. Yep, it was, because then it would disguise the leader. It would only copy the illusions. There were a lot of cool ways to like trick the leader play, but it's kind of like when Thanos was big. There wasn't a consistent way to beat that, you know, that deck consistently. I may switch over to the Moon Zoo here in just a minute. Have you tried Scarlet Witch over Sentinel? I haven't. So Scarlet Witch was originally in the place of Hitmonkey, but I kept Sentinel over the Scarlet Witch just for a little bit of kind of replay value onto the board. But I think it'd be fine to replace it. Okay, so we get some value in our fake Mysterio going mid. Same thing with our Angela there. Yeah, Sentinels are really good with Sarah, and just being able to get that consistent like, early game power and have something to play in some of those early turns is, I think, really, really strong. It's not every game that you lean in on a lot of Sentinels, but sometimes you're going to play 2 or 3 because the rest of your hand is a little bit congested or clogged. Yeah, which is useful as well. I think both have their use cases. And then Oliver Chamilios, Minor Zap, Dan Holland. Thank you guys for the follows. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Did we hit bot? If we're consistently doing bots, we may need to call it a night and jump over back in tomorrow. Yep. Wait, the blade gold? It has an effect. I am now. I wasn't earlier, but the last few games have been bots. So I'm a little bit afraid that last season when we played the like the Death Wave / Electro Ramp hybrid with Kitty Pryde, where we went like almost, I think it was almost 80 games with about a 70% win rate. I think we may have flew too close to the sun and bumped up our MMR a little bit too high. How do you identify when an opponent is a bot? Usually it's their username is very close to like a first name. So like Jalen, Martha, Blaine, something very, very basic. And then there's also a list or like a logged list of bot names. I don't have access to it. I know that there's a link floating around. And then a lot of times you can tell from like the split. So if this is a gold split, but it doesn't have any kind of particle effect, that's almost impossible to get. And so it's a very common sign of a bot. Snap Zone has a list. Ooh, nice. I didn't know they had it listed there. I also thought I ended the turn. And then Aaron and J.I., thank you guys both for the follows. If Marvel Snap Zone has it, I'm not sure your link would come through Aspire. If so, I can repost your link. But I know my bot is a little bit. And then Hearshot, thank you so much for the follow as well. I know my bot is a little bit on the peculiar side, or on the cautious side. We do this, and I think we're fine. We clear out the Nightcrawler. We clear out their entire left lane. So this one also, if they make plays, like if they move Nightcrawler right away, if they play the Nova that they got from Daily Bugle and it doesn't necessarily look like it fits into their build, just some like inconsistent plays that come from bots a lot of times. Oh yeah, and Targaryen. Marvel Snap Zone. That link should come through. I think that one's on the whitelisted list, so that one should be fine. So let's switch over to the Moon Zoo. This one seems fine.
Hey, welcome. It took you long enough.
Little Medi, thank you so much for the Prime sub. That bumps us up to 23 for the stream, which is insane. A lot of support coming from you guys from these late night streams. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Moon Zoo for a little bit. The Sarah Monkey felt fine. Actually, how many games did I play with that one? It didn't feel like it was all that many. Let me see. So that one was 4 and 4. We only had it was 8 games. We won 4, lost 4, for a net cube gain of +6. So even though we didn't, and a couple of those were bots, so that's not too impressive. For the Bounce Monkey, I played 24 games with it, had a 60% win rate. So that one's definitely feels like the most consistent. For the Moon Zoo Bounce, that one was a battle mode. The Negative Monkey went a 50% win rate, so 5 and 5. Let's try the Hit Zoo for a little while. Right now, I think that the Bounce one is definitely our best shell for how we currently have them. For currently what we're facing and how we have them built. By the way, is it confirmed bots can have bundle avatars? So I'm not for sure. I think they can, but I'm not 100% sure. It's Bounce Monkey, the Funky Monkey. Let's do the Iceman first. We want to try and do as much disruption. And then we'll do Hood. That way we have a second good Moon Girl duplicate card. Oh, they evolved? They have fancy avatars and titles? Oof. It's kind of scary. And then David and Fast Does Not Lie. Thank you both for the follows. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night so far. Did you get the rock bundle? I did. I bought it on this account. So we get Hit Monkey here. I mean, we already have really good enablers for it. I don't know if we even play anything just yet. The Cosmo and Goose variants are my favorite. Yep. The Cosmo and Goose ones, both are going to be ones that I end up using. I think we go ahead and play Sentinel. Next turn, we'll probably just skip to enable our She-Hulk. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we happen to draw Sunspot, we can play that alongside the Hit Monkey on the last turn. ChatGPT 4 level bots? Sometimes we get bots that know what they're doing. Other times it's just they're very clear misplays that most people aren't going to have at this point. I guess we can't draw Sunspot because of the Sentinel, but that's all right. This is the time they are Google Bard level. And it's such a hard shift too. You never know when it's coming. And so you never know if you're going to get into one of the bots that are just like cranked up to 10. Okay. So we haven't played into anything into Vormir, so we would have to look out for that lane. They got that arrow from the White Queen. So we do She-Hulk, Titania, Demon, Hit Monkey. Oof, we would send the Titania over. Hold on. I think we need to put a fair amount in the left lane. So, or do they invest any more over there? Maybe they just play for mid instead. This is only going to be 1, 2, 3. Only going to be a 6 power Hit Monkey, so I think we do need the extra support here. Let's do it like we had it. And hope that they don't invest any more in the left lane. Ooh, so 1 card mid. That's a Devil Dino. That's a big Devil Dino. Can we beat that with our Hitmonkey? Hitmonkey and Demon? It's close. Ooh, it's a tie. Ugh. There's a chance that we could have won that one somewhere. Maybe if She-Hulk went mid and we did Demon and Titania to the left, I think would have been the only way we could have done it. I just love the rock bundle. Yeah, I thought it was very funny that they did end up doing the rock bundle. So of course I bought it. I couldn't let it go. And then I got a rock. We'll do the good old 1-2 combo. So the Hitmonkey shouldn't matter if you play it last or not. I don't think the ordering is important. I'll double check this time though. It counts all played. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's like Wolf Dwayne. There's a name change to Dwayne Johnson and using the rock avatar thing. That's pretty witty as well. I do enjoy that. The Korg actually helps us out a small amount. You had a 4 monkey instead of 6? We played 3 cards, right? I mean, other than the Hitmonkey? No, we only played 3 cards, other than Hitmonkey. So we played She-Hulk, which was the 1. We played Titania as 2, and then Demon as 3. Hitmonkey doesn't count himself. So it says cards other than each other card that you played. So it doesn't count him. We're not going to be able to Moon Girl anything this game. We just have too much stuff. Too much useless stuff. Let's do the Sentinel. We're going to play Rock just to get it out of our hand. No, I saved my 400 gold, but I did just buy the 650 gold token bundle. Yep, the token bundle is usually one of the better value bundles you can buy. The one over the weekend for the burst of credits, I think was also similar to if you had just bought the credits outright. Plus you get a mystery variant as well. I thought that one was okay. Most of them, yeah. But that one, it was almost in line with what you would buy if you were just spending gold on credits by itself. And so I didn't think it was as atrocious as some of the other ones that had been offered. Weekend bundles are market research. Yep, they have varied quite a bit, and so I could see them being just research purposes. The $20 for 1,000 tokens. Yeah, Targaryen. I don't think it was that one that I was talking about. The one that I was talking about, it was mainly just credits, but it was a good chunk of credits, and I think it was only a $10 bundle. But it does seem like the price points are all over the place. Like they're trying to experiment and see what works well to figure out where they need to land ultimately. If he beast bounces his hawk away from us again, I'll cry. Yep. Seeing how many people buy them, what the interest level looks like, that sort of thing, yeah. So I think we just do something like this. We leave Negasonic alone. Like we can't swing this location. So I think we just leave it alone and aim for the left and the far, or left and mid. I think the $10 for the whole battle pass versus $10 for, yeah. So it's definitely like very different value levels. But if you're going to buy the season pass and you're looking to buy something else, then the $10 for the credits wasn't terrible. But if you're just buying like one or the other, then I think it's a no-brainer. Like the battle pass is definitely the way to go. Okay, so the Mysterio does help enable the right lane. Depending on what they play, do we have a shot here? Ooh, that is a big hit monkey in the left lane. Oh, not as big as I thought it would be. Yeah, once you throw mystery variants, it's hard to put a price on the mystery variants. And so then like you can start calculating it as an average of like 700 gold. That's a potential value. I don't know. But then it may be a variant that you don't end up using. And so I usually try to look at just the actual currencies that you get versus the mystery, because for the mystery variant, I usually don't buy them just for that. Arrow doesn't seem that useful in this evolving meta. In a lot of matches, it's not. In Galactus matches, it's good. In Shuri matches, it can be like game changing. And so it really depends on what we're running into, but it's there for that like consistency factor. It's not one that we use often, but in the games where we run into a Shuri, it's very necessary. But now everyone spams Monkey. Not everyone spams Monkey. A lot of people do, but not everyone. This is going to double these three, which is not bad. Arrow plus Odin. It always feels a little bit like awkward because you have to spend 2 full turns on that Arrow and Odin. So then finding like you're going to have power in the other lanes beforehand. And so it's, I don't know. Not everyone. I'm just finding Shuris today. Yeah, I've heard some people finding just Sandman, just Shuris. And then like for me, I'm finding this just a kind of array of different matches. It's quite simple. I get a new card, I play a new card. I mean, that's not a bad way to do it. And then Ollie and Wild, I missed your follows, but thank you guys for the follows. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. How has Hitmonkey been so far? So it's not like Surfer Zabu, I don't think. Like there's games where he gets absolutely massive, but I don't think it's on the same level as Zabu or Surfer. Those both were incredibly broken and like created their own kind of like it enabled like a whole new style of building, especially Surfer. Like she created a whole new archetype. Zabu just helped enable like some toxic plays like the Spider-Man Absorbing Man combo, which was a wild time. So wild. Oh no, new season! I have to snap again. You have to snap again. Arrow's useless versus bounce deck, even she at her prime. Not necessarily. If you time it right and you can pull their beast out of the lane they're wanting to bounce into, or if you stack their cards like inefficiently in certain lanes. No, I wouldn't say like useless necessarily. Yeah, pre-nerf Zabu with Hawk was insane, and I really liked the Zabu into Hawk into like a negative shell that had Wong and a few other enablers was absolutely broken. And so Arrow is one of those cards that now she's very much a tech card. So it's for me, Arrow is about pulling them out of like those safe lanes, the lanes that they want them to be in. It's not one that we're going to run every single time, similar to like a Shang-Chi. That month with Spider-Man Absorbing Man was incredibly toxic. Yep. Every time you saw a snap pre-turn 3, or every time you saw a snap before the Zabu came down, like so many people were like turn 1, turn 2 snapping. It was just so frustrating, so frustrating, because you knew what was going to happen. If you tried to run anything else, you knew you were going to get double Spider-Man locked, and there was just nothing you could do about it. Ooh. They have a Killmonger, don't they? So do we do this? Are they running? Oh, they could be doing a Shang-Chi instead. Let's split it just in case. And then we'll do this. Hawk to the right. Ah, that's true. It's an 18 power Hawk. Plot twist, they will play both. Oh, they did sacrifice. Oh, they also sacrificed a card. They have a lot of energy here. I think since we have initiative, I think the best play is for us to retreat. They could probably do all three. Killmonger, Shang-Chi, and something else. Because I think they sacrificed a card in the Altar of Death last turn. Yeah, we're gonna jump out of that one for 2 versus the 8. Has there been cards drop? So that usually happens with the balance patch, which I think would be another probably 1 to 2 weeks away. But every month they do drop series cards from 5 to 4 and then 4 to 3 at the same time. You said it's been 2 months now? 2 months now since what? I like the arrow change overall, just saying that in this meta. Yeah, no, she's definitely not great in a lot of matches. Some matches she's going to be incredible, but not all of them. Are you saving your monkey boosters? Actually, no. I probably need to just spend them. I have quite a few saved up. So I probably need to spend them. I'm not saving them for anything in particular. So the reason I snapped, bar with no name, depending on what this turns out, what it turns out that they're running, we could always do Titania plus like a hood and send a lot of power onto their side of the board. Or we could try Arrow, but that's not very reliable now that it only pulls 1 card. This looks like a bot. I mean, some people run Carnage. They run the Carnage avatar, right? But not a gold split. Daredevil. Ugh. I didn't mean to get into bot MMR. We're not fully there. Yeah, it's definitely a bot. We're not fully into bot MMR, but we are firmly close. Where we're seeing more bots than human players now. We still match up against Jeff like every single day. Yeah, I think it's also with how late it is. That there's just a bigger gap, so we're playing more bots. It's 4 a.m. It's 3 a.m. at my time, Ook. Yeah, it's also super early my time. But for my region, it's definitely not the ideal playtime. So I think we have to play this one as if they have a Professor X. Another late night where Base TLSG is streaming. 5-star, welcome in. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. I think we have to assume that they have the Professor X. And so we play as if they do. Oh, this is turn 5. Ooh. The Snap should have a lot of players. It's so weird that you know the 5 or 6 guys you get matched up against all the time. It's because they have a really close bracket for your MMR. If that was opened up wider, I could see it matching, but also yeah, that's oof. We're losing to bots. That's how we get out of bot MMR. It's 3 a.m. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. for me too. Let's play a little bit longer. We haven't really climbed much. I think I'm gonna finish off the bounce. The hit monkey Sarah. You guys, we're not seeing Shuri. So we could probably take out the arrow and Shang-Chi. That's usually like a higher MMR tech, but I'm not seeing a lot of Shuri. We could lean in with a little bit more. So maybe a collector, and then maybe we drop something else in there too. Really even out. We want cards that we can drop relatively early. So magic, like you could use it to enable the She-Hulk a little bit more, but I don't think it's necessary. 79.6 right now. I want to sleep at 80. Are you still running the Sal? Are you still running? You were running Sandman earlier, right? Now let's upgrade our Hit Monkey while we're at it. Yep, still on it. Yep. Yep, I think Sandman is one of those. It's fairly consistent. It's really easy to know if you have an advantage or if you need to retreat. And I think that's where a lot of like consistent decks shine, is being able to easily identify if you win or not. So what else do we want to add into this one? The collector is enabled by Hood, Sentinel, and Moon Girl. Is decent. Beast? We throw Beast in this? I guess that would help with the collector end, right? Bouncing Hit Monkey is strong. But a lot of this is really high end. Like that, the higher end of that scale. So like skipping. So like skipping on the last turn, on turn 5 into like a double She-Hulk. Does it get too clunky if we have bounce components in? I choose to play Galactus to stop Hit Monkey. I don't think you have to tech directly into it, but I could see Galactus being decent into it. We could also go Goose or Armor for like the low power early drop. I like Goose in this actually. Like Beast and Falcon, my worry is that it starts getting kind of congested with the Moon Girl. It does help enable a bigger collector, but our primary goal is to get a double She-Hulk. And if we're pulling back in some of these, I think arranging the Moon Girl where it needs to be is difficult. Yep, so the Mysterio interaction is +6. Absolutely broken with Mysterio. I guess we could add Mysterio, but board space becomes an issue. I typically don't feel like we need to get rid of Hood. Like it's usually like just a wasted card. But with that being said, we could always add in like a Viper. Carnage and Viper is also versions that I've ran before. Because if you don't have the Hood, then you just play Viper into an open lane to get out of your hand to enable your Moon Girl a little bit more. And it only becomes an issue if you play it before 6, but if you save it and play it on 6, sometimes you're only getting one Mysterio out of it. 1 or 2. Oh, Zelda, you said my game just won't reconnect in an 8-cube match. Ooh, that's tough. I've had my phone die on a couple of 8-cube matches. And then PD Kane, thank you so much for the raid. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night. Hopefully you had a great stream as well. Doesn't Sentinel clog your hand? Yeah, but you can control, like with a low enough curve, you can use your Sentinel to send it to the other end of your hand so that whenever you Moon Girl double down, like you can still control what cards are getting duplicated. How are you today? I'm doing well, PD. Hopefully you're doing well as well. We're experimenting with Hit Monkey a little bit and trying out a few different shells for it. But what were you running? How did your run go? Put Carnage for Mysterio or Hood. Yeah, it's one of those that it becomes a dead draw late too. Wondering if that negative Jane Foster Hit Monkey interaction. It can be, but a lot of times that's a very like high roll. So Jane Foster in general, whenever you hit it, it's like really, really strong. But you might be able to do some like crazy Hit Monkey plus Arnim Zola plus Taskmaster style shenanigans. You said people suggest TLSG for a variant? Oh, Scene, thank you. Thank you, it's late. Thank you, Atlas. And welcome in, by the way. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day so far. I think we soak here. It's either that or we do Viper to the right.
Welcome. It took you long enough.
Daniel Hope, thank you so much for the Prime sub. That bumps us up to 24 for the day. Huge support coming through, you guys. Until now, I realized Hitmonkey doesn't care about play order. Yeah, that's one of the like secret things I didn't realize when I was planning for it, but like it was a cool tech. That once I realized it, was pretty cool. That it doesn't necessarily matter. Yeah, they might have Reality Stone. That's true. Ooh. So the wave is kind of scary. They could have a Doctor Doom, and then all we're stuck doing is we lose mid. It's getting to that point. We're getting destroyed. Yep, we lose to Doom. So we're gonna retreat out. You said good trying to hit my milestone ever. 100 Twitch followers. I draw a stream as a variant. Oh, that's right, PD. Sorry, I didn't. It's late, so all the everything's not connecting. But I've seen a lot of the stuff you did. So I know you did one for Dara. You did, I believe, Binks's. I think Binks was leader. You did KM Best. You've done a lot of stuff that I've seen. I apologize for it not connecting earlier. So if you hit 400, yeah, that'd be huge. I'd definitely be interested in seeing what the TLSG variant looked like. Yeah, it looks like Bounce is probably one of the better ones. And I mean, we can try running it without Bast, and just adding Chavez as that consistent driver. Fid, do you have Hawk? We won't really be able to play in for Crimson Cosmos, unfortunately. And so after this one, the Moon Zoo is just not really popping for me tonight. It may be because I'm getting tired. Like I think it's probably fine in general, but it just hasn't been doing what I need it to do. So we can do Moon Girl. We can absorb. We're not really going to be able to do much in Death's Domain. I think they're also pretty restricted because this looks like a Sarah tech style deck. Ooh, unless they have an armor. Armor would be okay. He said I'll play the bounce when Bass drops to Series 3. But then I'll practice all fun please with Sandman. That could be the way to go about it. So let's skip here. We won't be able to play anything in mid, though. I guess we can just do She-Hulk, and then skip to soak some more with our Sunspot. Yeah, and I haven't got up to 80, so I don't know. I don't know if the extra +5. I know that somebody mentioned it, but we'll see. We'll see if it's actually removed or not. We do the double She-Hulk, and then Sunspot can still absorb 4. So they could have a Killmonger. If they have Killmonger, they have to drop it here, though. You said it is legit? You just got to 80? So it didn't give you the +5? Did it give you the +1 that it used to? Oh, it's still going. Okay, so it's still there. Gotcha. All right, so this is one that I was curious about changing. I know that the Bast is a pretty big enabler, but not everyone has Bast. And so I'm curious how Chavez feels in that slot. They could give you that extra early disruption in your Korg, your Iceman, and those key cards early, so that you can more consistently disrupt your opponent. I don't think that. Yeah, I think until they have the rest of it fixed, I don't think they're. I don't think they would remove it unannounced. Okay, so we do get like both of our big cards. Unfortunately, Space Throne's not great, but we will be able to Angela Bishop, and then kind of go from there. Fun fact: if you play Titania and Viper at the same turn, Viper will center across, and Titania will jump right back. Do what would you want with this information? I mean, someday that might be the information that we needed at that exact time. So I'm going to go ahead and play Hood. Mirror Dimension, depending on what this location is, we may want to angle in some of our cards there a little bit earlier than we normally would. Just in case it turns into Space Throne. I started playing G-Man just to stop Hitmonkey stuff. Were you seeing a lot of Hitmonkey? Because I haven't felt like I've seen all that much. It's definitely been a, what rank are we at? Like 73. I've tried out several different shells for Hitmonkey. They all went just about 50% win rate, except for like the bounce version. And the original bounce version didn't have Chavez; it had Bast instead. So the wave is scary. Galactus here could just ruin us. I've seen more Sandman than Hitmonkey. I haven't seen a single Sandman tonight. I mean, this looks like it could be a Sandman. But until then, I haven't seen a single Sandman tonight. You're using the Titania Green Goblin combo? If it fails, I simply Valkyrie it over. I mean, that's not a bad way. It's not a bad way to go about it. Let's do... Oh, no. Let's do... I think we do the Black Widow, we Beast. Then we can use these 3 next turn. For free. We can do the Angela, those 3 Hitmonkey to try to push up our Bishop a little bit further. Sounds like another season of overhyping the new card. I think the new card is... Oh... I forgot we said we were about to see Sandman come down. Let's make sure that I'm not crazy, but I think we have to leave. I think we have to leave as fast as we can in this one. Yeah, no, there's no way. You were saying? That's the first Sandman we've seen tonight. I blame that one on me being tired, because we could have played it differently. We knew that they had a wave and an arrow. Very likely they have Sandman as well. But I forgot. I saw arrow. I thought it in my head. Could be a Sandman, and then it, as quickly as it entered my brain, it also left my brain. Tilshi, I don't see a Sandman deck at all. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we see another one. Maybe we hit player MMR again. We lost enough that we hit player MMR. Toto, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a great night. Every other match was Hitmonkey and Sandman. Yeah, I've seen a lot more of that than Shuri, surprisingly. I think people are probably over Shuri, and a lot of people know how to play around Shuri at this point. And then Carlo, thank you so much for the follow. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night so far. Uatu would have seen that Sandman. He would have. But a rock is, he's dense. The rock is dense, and so he did not see it coming, unfortunately. I think we do Angela, Iceman. Crimson Cosmos is a little bit tough for this list. Never play Shuri. Don't run Shang-Chi anymore, guys. Not worth it. And then all of a sudden, the Shuri just comes back and floods. HT, you hit 95. That's huge. Definitely enjoy your rest. Very well deserved. You hit the climb hard, and so definitely enjoy it. And I'm sure you can finish off Infinite tomorrow. We're gonna shuffle a lot of junk into our deck by doing this. Oh no, Atlas! I knew you were kidding. I knew you were being sarcastic. The like squinty eyes gave it away. The bounce list is really tight. It was harder than I thought to drop Bast and Falcon. Yeah. It definitely, doing both of them gets tough to do unless you just like really hit it or only enable it for like a couple of cards. But if you're doing like a really big pull, usually you get one or the other. I like Bast here instead of Widow. Yeah, no, so I was running Chavez instead of Bast, but somebody asked if there was any way to run it without Bast. And so I was trying out the Chavez. I don't know if it's a decent shot or not, but I thought it was worth trying. Tired TLSG has the best poker face. It's because I'm too sleepy to. It's because I'm too sleepy to react. Let's do the Iceman. We're gonna do a demon, and we do have a plethora of rocks in our deck in our one cost. That's a good hammer face. I appreciate it. It gave me a chance to yawn and recollect myself. The problem with stale Shuri meta is people as a mass will play Shuri to get to infinite quickly. And then it went away. And then yeah. This is the most we could possibly do. But they do beat us in Crimson Cosmos. Actually, maybe we just do this. I don't think they can play anything else into the Crimson Cosmos because of Sarah. So we're going to try just this and hope that the middle is enough to win it for what we have. Im. He said, hi, I'm a newbie, but bought Thanos. I'm just collecting pool 3 cards. What card should I catch in the free section for him? So I still enjoy Lockjaw with the Thanos. Some people have shifted away from it and have done more of a like a zoo style build. But I think the Lockjaw rotation is still one of the strongest ones for him. It's not as flexible as it was before, but I do think it's still sick plays even though you're tired. Sometimes we get lucky. So the ongoing one I've also seen rise up. But Lockjaw, it's a lot easier to like cheat out a lot of power onto the board. And so I think it edges out just a little bit still. The opponent had no danger room fear. They had none at all. Any substitutes for Hawk? So if you're running Bast in the list, you could try like taking him out, but he is a consistency driver. So he's like one of the big power plays in this one. So we have Angela, potentially Hitmonkey, Bishop, and Hawk as our like ways to win locations. And then the rest are just like disruption and filler. So taking him out, you lose one of those big key pieces. I know that a couple of people have like took him out and tried to run maybe Collector because you are pulling a lot of things in. It's not going to be as high of a high roll, but it might still be somewhat consistent. But for that, I would definitely want, I think I would definitely want Bast in there as well. Replacing Hawk with Sarah. Really, Rin. Sarah is not one I've tested out. Who wants to bite the bullet and challenge TLSG so everyone else can catch up? So I actually did do a 1v1 versus Revark earlier. It was super late, and so the mathing was hard. But we did match up against him earlier. Wouldn't Bast be great in this? Absolutely. So I actually did a build. So it's Hitmonkey. It's this list, but instead of Chavez, it has Bast. Somebody asked if it still ran okay without the Bast and what I would sub in. So I added in Chavez for the consistency driver because I had originally taken it out. And so it allows you to do your early disruption more consistently by having the Chavez in. But Bast is probably the more optimal play because it helps you with your Mysterio, your Bishop. It really helps enable just about everything that you want to do. Oh, no, you're okay. You're okay. I figured you had just jumped in. But no, Bast is great in this. So we're going to be able to pull these back in. We have the potential to do a pretty big hit monkey. We're hoping that it doesn't get pulled in by Grand Central. Very strong with Mystique. You've been playing Iron Man in my bounce. Where does that fit in your curve? Because I always feel like I'm doing things every single turn, like in using the majority of the energy. Does it ever feel like you're... Oh no, opponent can't draw with Lamentis? Oh, wait. Oh no, I didn't even see Lamentis until now. Oof. It's tough. That's a tough one. They definitely need their draws. It does kind of look like maybe a Cerebro too. We probably would have played that differently had I known Lamentis was on the board. Oh, it's getting so late. Still a Hawkless, but I don't run Widow and Falcon. Gotcha. The Surfer deck? Could be a Surfer deck as well, yeah. This would be 2, 4, 5, 6 as is. And so Surfer decks typically will run... Surfer decks will typically run a Killmonger. I'm going to try to drop Initiative, maybe. Yeah, I know there's no deck now. Lamentis can never draw Chavez, that's correct. So since it's not turn 6, it will never pull it from your deck. And then Zelda, it said it's time. You said it's time for bed. It was great catching you live. It was great having you here, hanging out in chat. Hopefully we can catch you again sometime soon. Hopefully you have a great rest of your night. I probably will be on my way to bed pretty soon as well. With the storm, it could still be Cerebro 2 or could be Silver Surfer. We don't know which. Maybe we bite the bullet here. We just do Real Mysterio. We can't because of the Avengers compound. Oof. Okay. So I'm just going to skip and hope that Grand Central doesn't pull into our Hit Monkey. It's Cerebro 2? It could be, but I know that Storm is often ran in Silver Surfer builds as well. East top? Oh yeah, there hasn't been a card drop just yet. That should happen with a balance patch whenever that comes down. Ooh, so it pulls the rock from Korg, or yeah, from Korg earlier. Next week at latest. Sometimes it comes early. Sometimes it's a little. I don't know. I don't know how to gauge when it's gonna be. Oh, if we do that, we can't play all of it. So in that case. I think we'll do this. My bet is on Cerebro 2. And this is where Titania would be awesome. Titania is cool in certain scenarios, so like Cerebros, and they're just like clogging the board. Black Widow out? Oh, yeah, Black Widow out for the Mysterio. I already locked in. Sad. But that's the better play line, fresh. We're missing a lot of these. A lot of these pretty easy, pretty common plays. But I think we're going to look into raiding you guys over into somebody because we are getting a little bit too sleepy, I think. Let's see. Is there anybody that's live that you guys want to raid over into? Wow, looks like Zombie got a pretty hefty raid. He's up at 416. I know he normally hovers around like 80, so that's massive. He's absolutely killing it. Specimen? Did Specimen start? We have D Money that's streaming. We have Raven. Specimen. Okay. Zombie got raided by Paper, who was raided by Jeff. That's huge. I like how it carries over. And then Shiny Beast says the same. Nice. Oops, I'm like, no, you're not that late. Let's go ahead and we'll send you guys over to Specimen. I don't think I've ever hit Specimen with a raid. It was either that or I think Raven. Both of them very good creators. Let's go ahead and load up Specimen today. Maybe we'll hit one of the other ones some other time. Thank you guys for being here. Absolutely fantastic stream. I appreciate all of the support. Just you guys being as fantastic as you are. There will be another stream tomorrow, depending on the work schedule. And actually, my daughter's going to be homesick, so depending on when she naps, there might be a midday stream. But as always, thank you guys for being here. We're going to jump over into the Specimen stream. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and we will catch you either on the next video or on the next stream. Thank you guys. As always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.